1-3, the police are requesting an ambulance to detail man screaming for one. Inside the Irish Social Club at number 19 Park Street, West Rock Street.
Have you ever stood and stared at it, marveled at its beauty, its genius? Millions of collectors, lovers of film and horror alike, just living out their lives, oblivious. Did you know that the first program was designed to be a perfect human world, where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Some believe that we lack the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. However, when viewers of the Movie Canon YouTube channel tune in, they get a sense of joy. Too much joy, if you ask me. You see, the perfect world would dream that your primitive cerebral kept trying to wake up from, which is why this was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization. For some reason, human beings still found their way to the Movie Canon YouTube channel. This has to change. Look out that window. You had your time. The future is our world. The future is our time. Is there something on your mind?
Watch the movie canon.
Hi, you're watching the movie canon? Watch Gio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Movie Canon, and this is the Met Report, a show about movies, entertainment, and television news. It is Saturday, February 15th, 2025, and what I'm doing here today is it is going to be very Oscars themed, right? I'm going to do a tier list of the Best Picture winners. Not all of them, because there's like nearly 100 of them, but I'm just going to do the ones for the 21st century, right? From the year 2000 to 2023. So these are movies that were released from the year 2000 to 2023. I'm not going to do this alone. I will have one Canon Council member here today that will be joining me here in this tier list. If you're watching in the live chat right now, if you're watching live, you can go ahead and join us and give us, the whatever grade you like to give for the tier list of these Best Picture winners. Assuming you've seen the movies, right? But let's go ahead and bring in my Canon Council member of the day. You guys know him as Mr. 1 Adam 12.
Since I was 3 or 4 years old, I've loved Star Wars. So we'll keep looking. We're getting into Double Jeopardy where things really get tense. Iron Man, knowing that the original Avengers are destroyed and the MCU goes down the drain. And also knowing that we destroyed Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Oh, man.
Mr. Adam, how you doing?
Hey, good, Gio. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Just a situation that I mentioned to you a couple of days ago, getting a little better, but thanks for asking. But how's your the weather situation today in New York?
It's just as I was coming on the stream, it's starting. The flurries are starting. They're expecting, they're never quite right, the meteorologists. Anywhere they give this big range, anywhere from 4 or 5 inches to a foot. So that's going to be a snow, and then at some point tomorrow morning, it's going to transition to an ice storm. So thankfully, it's the weekend. It's the holiday weekend for me, at least. I don't have to go anywhere. We did all our supermarket shopping. And all that stuff. So we're just hunker down and stream and watch some movies.
That sounds like a perfect weekend to me, Adam. So, and then we're having the stream tomorrow, right? So we're doing that. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do a non-spoiler review of Captain America: Brave New World tomorrow night, not today, but tomorrow. And then I did get that shield, that popcorn bucket, right here.
They had it at the Regal when I went to. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I'm giving It's actually much bigger than I thought it was going to be when I first saw it.
Yeah.
But I am giving this away to a channel member later. I mean, I'll tell you guys later if you're interested in that. If you're a channel member, so I'll be doing that. But Adam, thank you so much, like always, for joining us. I know you're a regular on Figures Talk on Sunday nights. Sometimes when we do Friday nights, but I really appreciate your time here as well this Saturday. So thank you so much for that. And then we have everyone who's watching live right now. Thank you very much. If you're watching the replay, thank you very much as well. So let's actually get into the live chat. I do see quite a few in there. So let's start there. We'll get into this Oscar stuff in just a bit. But we have Mr. Feel the Burn, Mr. Robert, a channel member who took the blue pill, one of the few channel members who accepted and took the blue pill, wants to stay in the Matrix, even though he selected the horror simulation. He says, hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, Mr. Robert. Thanks so much for joining us in the live chat. He will be on Figures Talk tomorrow. He'll be joining us. And Mr. Brick Artemis joining us here. So hello, everyone. Hello to Mr. Brick Artemis, a moderator. Thanks so very much, Brick. Like always, great supporter. And congratulations on the baby. I know you just had a baby, so congratulations. So hoping everything is well over there. Thank you so much there for joining us. And looks like Robert's just asking the same thing. How's the new baby? Definitely. Jamie Hart dropping by. Thank you so much there. Says, I took the red pill and ended up here, of course. Thank you so much, Jamie Hart. I don't think I've seen you in the live chat before, so thanks so much for joining us here in this stream. Much appreciated. Hope you stay and enjoy the show. Brick says, sitting in the NICU with little man now. Feel the burn, but he's doing pretty good. Okay, good to hear that, Brick.
Yeah,
thanks for the update. Thank you so much there for letting us know. Brick says, Gio, I read your question wrong twice. I'll look into that because I know I did put a question, guys, in the I put a question in the live chat. The question was, which Best Picture winners should not have been nominated at all? And I think Brick answered twice. One of them, I guess he misread it, but the correct one, at least the one that I asked, he says Birdman. So I do see that there. And maybe I agree with that. Maybe I don't, but we'll talk about that here today. Let's see. And then Mr. 1Adam12 just warming up the chat. Hello, everyone. Just doing that there. Thank you so much there. Brick says, how Leo doesn't have more Oscars, I'll never understand. I mean, I know that it's hard. It's difficult to win an Oscar. He's got none. And well, he's won. Yeah, he's won one, right? So he's won one.
What did he win for?
For The Revenant.
He won Best Actor for that.
Yeah. He was. He got nominated several times.
Okay.
But he finally won. That wasn't his best performance.
No.
But they finally gave it to him, and it might have been one of those situations where it's like, all right, we'll finally give you an Oscar, type of thing. But yeah, it's very hard, because you're going against other talented actors most of the time, not all the time, but so I'm sure it's very hard to win an Oscar, especially in acting and stuff like that. But let's see. Sophia LeBron just saying hello to myself and Mr. 1Adam12.
Hey, Rob.
And Adam says Birdman for me. Okay, another one says Birdman.
I think for acting, I actually think Michael Keaton was robbed of the act. I don't believe he won for the acting, if I recall.
Correct. He did not.
He should have won maybe for the acting for his body of work. But that movie, we'll get into it later.
Yes, we definitely will get into that movie. I'm trying to remember who won that year for Best Actor. That would have been 2014, for the year 2014. I'm trying to remember. I'll look into that a little later. My sister Alice, who's a channel member, chose the red pill, saying hello, friends. Hello, Alice. Thank you for joining us here in the live chat, as always.
Matthew McConaughey. Dallas
Myers. You know what? He was really good in that, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
He was really good in that. I do kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I definitely do agree with the nomination for Michael Keaton. That was kind of like his resurgence too, because he was gone for a while. Like, we wouldn't see a lot of movies with Michael Keaton for years, at least not any big movies. And all of a sudden, he just comes back, gets an Oscar nomination. He comes back as Batman. So that was a good thing there. That resurgence for Michael Keaton. Brick says he should have gotten one for Titanic. Says Brick. I know he didn't get nominated. I know he didn't show up to the celebration because he didn't get nominated, if I remember correctly. Then it says, and why Johnny Depp doesn't have an Oscar? A shame, he says. Yeah, he's been nominated, I think, 3 times. Johnny Depp. Pretty sure it was 3 times. Yeah, for Pirates. Finding
Black Mass, was he nominated?
No, he wasn't nominated for that.
Okay.
What was that movie called? I think it's called. Is it Finding Neverland, or when he played the author who wrote Peter Pan?
Finding Neverland.
It is Finding Neverland. Yeah, he got nominated for that, and then the last one was for Sweeney Todd. So those were his 3 nominations. Okay. And sometimes you just have to look at like what was the better performance that year, right? It's not just Johnny Depp because you love Johnny Depp, but what was that year? Who won that year? Brick says not the one robbed that year was Bradley Cooper for American Sniper. That was I think that was 2015, and that's the year that Leo won for The Revenant. Okay. So it was again Bradley Cooper versus Leo. They gave it to Leo that year, if I remember correctly, because sometimes I get the years wrong with the Oscar stuff. But
looking in preparing for today's show, I was looking at who else were the nominees that year in some of these films. Mm-hmm. And you do have some years where you genuinely have some two or three excellent films that you could say, yeah, that deserves to win Best Picture, but for whatever reason, one wins over another. Even going back to I think of classic examples, 1990, obviously not what we're covering today, but you had Goodfellas and you had Dances with Wolves, 2 of my favorite films. Uh-huh. Dances with Wolves won Best Picture, but Goodfellas just as easily should have won as a classic, but they're both classics. So, but in other years, you have some films that win, and you're like, what the heck?
just in the 21st century alone, there's a few in there that you're like, what? I guess the most iconic one, at least for me, because I've experienced it, was the Saving Private Ryan situation with Shakespeare in Love, which I know you agree with that.
Yeah, I think I texted you on that, and that's Shakespeare in Love. It's a good. I think it's a good film, and I do think it's a good film, but you can't tell me that's a better film. No one with a straight face can tell me that's a better film than Saving Private Ryan or film classic. And I think there's no question that Shakespeare in Love won because of a marketing and political, not like Republican versus Democrat, but a campaign led by Harvey Weinstein to use his pull and bullying to get the votes on that. There's absolutely no question about that.
And he was very successful at that because he got a lot of those Weinstein production films get nominated, even win Best Picture.
He was the most feared guy in the industry for many years.
But that was definitely an example. Definitely an example there for sure. Yeah. Brick says he should have gotten one for Interstellar. Actually, you're right, Brick. He says Dallas Buyers Club was 2013. That's right. So sometimes when you look it up, when it comes to the Oscar wins or whatever, it's how they award the Oscar the year after, right? So it'll show the year that it was, they were awarded, but it was actually honoring the year before. So sometimes it gets confusing with the year, and that's why sometimes I get mixed up with the who won which Oscar on which year, stuff like that. So yes,
it's like Super Bowl season. Their season will be, the Eagles are the champions of the 2024 season, even though the Super Bowl was 2025.
Exactly. Even though they played, the entire season was played the year before, right? But the playoffs were this year. It is kind of like this, right? So Dallas Buyers Club was 2013. That's when Matthew McConaughey won Best Actor. And then he says The Theory of Everything won Best Actor for the year 2014. So that one was the one that was against
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne, right? So Eddie Redmayne won over Michael Keaton that year for Birdman. Then Brick Artemis over Bradley Cooper. Leo that year, 2015. Yeah. So yeah, guys. So that was going to the live chat real quick here. Let me just go to this real quick here. You see this on the screen, the ballot. So if you're a channel member, if you have taken either the red pill or the blue pill, doesn't matter. If you are interested in predicting the Oscars, the winning Oscars for this year, go ahead and message me. Some of your guys already asked me or emailed me or messaged me, and I emailed you the ballot, the categories, saying you just predict the winners. The deadline is February 21st at 11:59 p.m. If you're a channel member,
Can't do mine this week.
and then I'm gonna do my predictions next Saturday, February 22nd, on the Met Report. So I'm gonna do my final predictions, and the thing is, I'm not gonna have the support of what the SAG is going to award, because sometimes they're very similar to the voting branch of the Oscars. So I'm not going to have that. So when I'm going to predict, I'm not going to have the winners from the SAG. We got the DGA and the PGA. We got those wins. So I would consider that. But so yeah, and a few of you guys have already submitted that. The one who predicted the most correct will win a gift card to either Sideshow or Amazon. And then if we need a tiebreaker, then we'll do some kind of a tiebreaker. So again, if you're interested, just go ahead and message me. If you're a channel member, if you are not a channel member yet, then go ahead and do that. The link is in the live chat. I put that there. Take the red pill or the blue pill. There's some other giveaways that I'm doing for channel members, like the shield, right? So that's one of them. The 1/6 General Grievous Sideshow figure, I'm giving this one away. Now, this one, you don't have to be a channel member. It's just you get more chances to win. Same thing with the Duel of Fates Funkos. Same thing. You don't have to be a member, but if you are, you get more chances to win. Let's see here. My sister Alice says, Wicked Sweep, she says. Yeah, so we'll see about that. But as of that, Brick says, I will become a member again. It's been crazy. I'm so sorry. Oh, don't worry about it, Brick. Not a problem at all there. Wicked Sweep for sure, but I think Chalamet will get Best Actor. So that's his prediction, looks like. So, yeah, we'll see, right? TJ Mike, a channel member, also joining us here in the live chat. Says, good afternoon, movie fans. Thank you so much, TJ Mike, for joining us. He took the red pill, and he's in the horror simulation. So thank you so much, TJ Mike. Hope you can join us here. And then again, guys, we're doing the tier list of Best Picture winners from 2000 to 2023. If you want to contribute to the grade, do it so in the live chat there. All right. Anything else you wanted to address or state, Adam, before we start with the tier list?
No, I think we talked about Shakespeare in Love and Saving Private Ryan. To me, the one other time that Oscar got it so wrong was for the 1977 Oscars. Annie Hall wins over Star Wars. I'll never forgive them for that. I'll never forgive those voters.
You know what? Growing up, I was, you guys know I'm a big movie fan, right? Movie buff. I wanted to be a filmmaker. I wanted to be a screenwriter. Like, that was my dream, right? So growing up, I was like, I need to watch as many Best Picture winners as I can, right? So the 1977 one is like, this movie, Annie Hall, won over Star Wars. I have to watch that movie, because what's in this movie that it won over Star Wars? And then I watched it and I was like, this is what won over Star Wars, really? I know there's a thing with the Oscars. I don't know, with the Academy anyways. I don't know if it's still the thing. Maybe it still is, that they just wouldn't award like a genre film. Of course, they nominated. I think Star Wars got 10 nominations, if I remember correctly. But they just didn't want to give it the Best Picture. Now, who remembers Annie Hall? But who remembers Star Wars?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of examples of that, and that was one of the biggest ones, like you mentioned here.
You had Oliver win over 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
And there's other.
A lot. Brick says 1. It says Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. 2. Gladiator. 3. Slumdog. His top 3 of the Best Picture wins of this 21st century. He also says there's been a lot of years where the movies shouldn't have won, like Birdman, And Parasites. Okay, so we'll get into
I-
Parasite as well.
Brick and I are kind of on the same page on a lot of that stuff. So, I out of those picks, two of them I agree with. The third of them, I think it's a good film, but it wouldn't be my top three.
Oh,
So
okay.
I agree.
I am gonna go when we get to the tier list, which we'll get into in just a bit, guys. Because I'm gonna do it by order, right? 2000, 2001, release. So I'm gonna tell you what the nominees were for Best Picture of that year, so that you can factor in where your grade's gonna be, right? Because there's some other movies that were there.
The one other thing I just thinking of here is the one probably the most egregious thing of this era that we're going to be talking about is the lack of a Best Picture nomination for The Dark Knight, and obviously that became such a cause that the Oscars the following year changed their criteria and increased the number of films that could be nominated up to 10. It went from 5 to 10. So yeah, I was at 2007, right?
2008.
2008. Okay. Yeah.
2008. Yeah. So because like when they first started the Academy, like going back to the late 1920s, they did have 10 nominees for Best Picture, and then they cut it for some reason, like a few years later, several years later. But because of The Dark Knight, they increased it again to like, okay, maybe we need more movies to be considered for Best Picture. And then they did. They have some kind of system. I don't know exactly what the system is, but it's between 8 and 10 Best Picture nominees. I think it depends the number of movies released that year that will factor in whether it be 8, 9, or 10 nominees. But The Dark Knight, it definitely triggered that because there was much upset about that because The Dark Knight won or got nominated for 8 Oscars, not a single one for writing, directing, or Best Picture. So it's like, how does that even happen, right? So
yeah.
Alice says, Brick, how did you like We Live in Time? That's the one with Andrew Garfield, right? And what is her name? Yelena. What's the actor's name?
Oh, Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh, right. I haven't seen that movie yet.
Yeah, neither have I.
I heard it was good. Says Brick says We Live in Time was good, but I was expecting a little more. But I enjoyed it. All right, there you go. Alice says that she agrees. I was ready to cry and I did not. Oh, wow. Okay. So you wanted to cry, Alice. All right. Good to know there. Brick says Oppenheimer was amazing too. Dune should have been nominated for more. I would completely agree with that, Brick. I don't think
The first
Adam
Dune
does.
or Dune 2?
Actually, right. Brick, which one are you referring to? Because I guess they would have fallen under that same 21st century thing, right? So, all right, let's get started with this. Let's get started. And then, Adam, I have like 2 little. It's not really games, but it's like a little choice that you have to make. Oscars theme. We'll do it at the very end. It's just like 2 little things right there.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So let's start with the tier list. Let me go ahead and share this real quick here. All right, let me see. You can see, right? You can see yeah, you can see it there.
Yep.
All right. So again, we're doing the Best Picture winners. It's a tier list of the films from the year 2000, films that came out in 2000 through 2023. And I'm looking for this real quick. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to do this by release date. Okay, so the first one that we're going to drop in here, I'm going to just drop in the middle. If you're in the live chat and would like to contribute to that, go ahead and put your grade in there, and then we'll count it as well. So the first one is going to be, I'm going to actually put it in the middle. I'm already putting him in the S tier. Put it in the middle, and of course, there's Gladiator that came out in the year 2000. Russell Crowe, right? Ridley Scott, director. The movies that were nominated for Best Picture that year was Aaron Brockovich, Traffic, Chocolat, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and
Ooh, that's a good
Gladiator.
picture.
So those were the movies that were nominated for Best Picture. So with all of this, with whatever factors, whatever system you want to use, Adam, where would you put Gladiator in the tier list?
Well, first of all, that was a pretty solid year for films. I thought Aaron Brockovich was an entertaining film. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, awesome movie. But Gladiator is I think a modern classic. It's an S tier for sure. Russell Crowe in arguably his greatest performance. Joaquin Phoenix, Richard Harris, just a fantastic movie. I mean, you talk about a film that's had a major cultural impact. How many people can quote that movie? And I think of films, we've mentioned Star Wars, but so many people who are not even like big Star Wars fans, they May the Force be with you. I am your father. The Wizard of Oz, people quote that. Gone with the Wind, frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn. So lines that people quote, and I think Gladiator is one of those films where people will quote lines from like The Godfather. There's another film I can think of. This is an S tier for sure. A fantastic film. I haven't seen the sequel yet, so I don't know. I can't speak to that.
Okay.
I've heard mixed things on that, and I'm not sure I want to see it. But the first film, and the other thing I want to mention about the Gladiator, an incredible soundtrack. I can't tell how many times I would listen to that soundtrack. Now We Are Free, that song, that track, just an awesome. Jaimin Hunsu, I think the first time I ever saw him in a film was when I saw him in Gladiator. I don't know if that was his first role, but that was the first time I recall seeing him.
Oh, I saw in Amistad.
Yeah, he was in Amistad before that. You're right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, S tier for me.
Okay. S tier from Adam, and I will have to say S tier as well. So, Gladiator, absolutely great, amazing film. I'm saying S tier, but I still wouldn't say it was among the films that compared to other Best Picture winners, I would guess, that I would enjoy. I was very entertained, no pun intended, in Gladiator, and Ridley Scott. I don't think he's won an Oscar for Best Directing. I think he got nominated. He didn't win, but that would have been the movie that he would have won.
That's a crime.
And I think Steven Soderbergh won that year for Traffic, but which I saw, and I don't think it was Oscar worthy personally. But great film. I know a lot of people have seen Gladiator and they like it. We have Brick saying S tier. That movie still holds up, and I watched it for the first time 3 months ago. Okay, that's right. I think I remember you said that, Brick. That's right.
And I would love a Marcus Aurelius 1/6 scale, like Hot Toys or in art figure.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I think I saw. I don't know who made it. I don't know if it's a custom. I've seen a figure of his
Third party.
Maybe. Like I don't know who made him, but I've seen it, and that one looks decent. But yeah, I don't know if Hot Toys would ever make him. But and then I did watch Gladiator 2. I thought it was entertaining. Again, no pun intended. I thought it was entertaining. I was already not gonna try to compare it exactly to the original. Like I already know it's not gonna be that. But from what I saw, it was a fun, solid movie overall. Alice has also never seen, so she hasn't seen Gladiator. And let me see. Looks like just talking amongst yourself there. Brick says William Wallace or Marcus.
Ooh,
who wins?
That's a good question. I gotta go with Marcus, but are the actors or the characters? Because if the actors fought, I give it to Mel Gibson. But the characters, probably Marcus Aurelius.
Okay.
But if it was Mad Max versus Marcus, I give it to Mad Max.
Oh, okay. I'll probably have to say Marcus personally, but we have Jose Plus dropping by in the live chat. How you doing, Jose? Thank you so much for joining us here in the live chat. Greatly appreciate it. He says S tier for Gladiators. Yeah, so we have another S tier right here. There's another one right here. All right. So yeah, so it's going to be an S. I'll leave it open for a couple of polls or whatever, but I'm guessing it'll probably stay here. S tier. All right, let's move on to the next one here. I'm doing this by release date. Dropping in the middle, A Beautiful Mind. Again, Russell Crowe. Let's see. So this one is the Ron Howard film, right? I've only seen this movie once, to be honest with you.
Me too. Yeah.
And the ones that were going against or were also Best Picture nominees that year was Gosford Park, Moulin Rouge, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, In the Bedroom. So those were the other movies. And, you know, I can think of two movies probably right there that were probably better that year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
At least that I would find it to be Best Picture worthy, right? So for me, it's not going to be an S tier. I'm probably going to keep it as a B. It was a solid movie. Watched it once when it first came out in theaters, and I had no interest in really watching it again. But how about you?
Did he win Best Actor for that that year?
He got nominated.
Okay. I agree. I do think it's a solid film. I remember seeing this in the theater with Mila, and I only saw it once. I'm like, yeah, it's good enough for me. But you know, just the pictures of the other pictures nominated that year, I think out of those, the two that should have gone to would have been either The Fellowship of the Ring or Moulin Rouge. I love Moulin Rouge, so this is a B for me.
Yeah, Moulin Rouge, you know, a lot of you guys know that I'm not a huge musical fan, but I thought that was solid. I thought that was a decent musical movie, you know. I would see that becoming more of one of those films that is like, I can see that being a Best Picture winner over A Beautiful Mind. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, I think the achievement of filmmaking, just on that alone, probably should have been better. More leaning towards Best Picture than A Beautiful Mind, but that's not the route they took. So let's see here. We have Aces of Movies dropping by. Hello and thanks, Stacy. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry, it's Acres of Movies. Thank you so much for joining us here in the live chat. I've seen you before in the live chat. Thank you so much for coming back. Much appreciated there. Let's see. And then Acres of Movies says, what is your favorite Best Picture of the 90s? Best Picture of the 90s, just from the top of my head right now, it'll probably be Saving Private Ryan.
Nominee or winner is the question.
Right. I guess that's true. If you're referring to pick a winner, then that's different. That's a different question, right? But I wanted to think about it. There's a lot.
Yeah, if it's nominee, I would, in the movie that should have won, for me, it would be Saving Private Ryan. If it's winner, Titanic or Forrest Gump for me.
I guess Titanic, actually. Titanic. Look, I can't remember what the other ones were. Like we had 99 was American Beauty.
Pulp Fiction was a nominee, but didn't win.
Win.
That would be up on my list.
Right. The live chat break says B for A Beautiful Mind. And then Alice says she finally watched it. Brick says 90s are hard. It's between Braveheart. Oh, that's right. Braveheart's pretty good. And then you mentioned Forrest Gump also. Let's see. I watched Fellowship for the first time this year. Oh, that's right. Alice did watch. She went to like a marathon of all the 3 films in the theater, I think last month in January. But I think she didn't finish Return of the King. But yeah, she watched it for the first time this year. Fear the Burn says, I love Moulin Rouge. Chicago was also great. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. Hear my opinion on that. Yeah. Feel the Burn. I love Moulin Rouge. And I'm not a big musical fan. And I remember we saw Moulin Rouge. And when they started singing, I started hearing Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I'm like, what's this? And I just, Your Song, there's just, I love how they took either rock or more modern pop songs and kind of did medleys to it. I liked it.
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann, he likes to do that in his films. He did that with Great Gatsby as well. I think he was using like some Jay-Z track in during the era of the 1920s, right? So I mean, it worked. It
Yeah.
worked well actually. So I like when he did that. But let's see. Then we have Alice has confirmed. I still have not seen or still have not finished Return of the King. Then we have Mr. Jim Collector dropping by. Says, "Good evening, all." Hello there, Mr. Jim Collector. Thank you so much for joining us here in the live chat. Nice to see you here. Because I think you're in the UK, so I'm glad you're able to join us here in the live chat. Much appreciated. There.
Welcome.
Then Alice says, "But in my defense, they were all extended versions."
Oh boy,
that is true. That is true. And I was kind of like, it's kind of like Alice. She's not a huge movie fan like myself. So when she told me that she was going to watch the trilogy and the extended versions in the theater in one day, I was like, well, good luck with that, because damn, that's a lot. I don't even think I would have done that actually. Let's see. Brick says Fellowship is one of the best.
Agreed.
And then Jose says Roberto is talking crazy again. Someone stop him. All right, so let's see. So we got and then Adam, you said B for Beautiful Mind, right? Or was it something else?
I said B.
Oh, okay.
All right. A few others said B as well.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, because Brick said B. I think that's the only one that I saw here that said B. So yeah, it'll be at a B level. A Beautiful Mind. It'll probably lower within the B range, but that's where we're at right now. All right, let's do the next one here. Next one, Chicago, dropping that in the middle. It is a musical. I think it's a musical that won Best Picture. I think it's been quite a few years since the last musical winning Best Picture. But we got this here. The Best Picture nominees that year, I can already tell you 3 were better. But we have The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Gangs of New York, The Pianist, The Hours. So those were the nominees that year, and I would not agree Chicago would have won. That should have won Best Picture that year. Again, not a big musical fan, but go ahead, Adam.
Two Towers of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The Two Towers actually is my favorite of all 3, and I love all 3.
Oh,
that's
really?
my favorite. Yeah, I think what were the other nominees again? There was 2 that I definitely could.
Gangs of New York and The Pianist.
Yeah, Gangs of New York. It's not my favorite Scorsese film, but it's a very good film. Another DiCaprio film. Yeah, I hate Chicago. My wife and I went to go see it in the theater, and we walked out of that, and we both thought that's 2 hours of our lives that we'll never get back.
Oh wow!
And my wife is a huge. I am not a musical fan. I don't hate musicals. I'm just not a musical fan. My wife and my daughter love musicals. They go to the Broadway shows all the time. Love them, and she did not like it. I give this one an F. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
You know what? No, I'll give it a D.
Okay. Now, I mean, I knew you weren't a fan, but I didn't know it was like that. So, I didn't think it should have been Best Picture, but I didn't hate it like that. I would say it'll be like a B minus. I would say, for Chicago. I've actually seen the stage version of it too. Chicago recently, actually, like last year. We were given tickets, and so we went. Yeah, they're fine. They're fine, but to me, it's like not Oscar worthy. It's definitely not Best Picture worthy, especially when we have these other movies. The Pianist, which is a great film. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lord of the Rings, as I mentioned earlier, and Gangs of New York. I mean, I really like Gangs of New York mainly to see Daniel Day-Lewis' performance as the Butcher.
To me, this is a classic example of the Academy of Motion Picture, of the elitists in there saying, well, we're going to go with this, the musical type of typical Hollywood production, as opposed to classics that, will stand the test of time and that are also popular with moviegoers, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Brick says it's an A for Chicago. And then he says, but yeah, shouldn't have won. Gangs of New York probably should have won. Let's see. I love a Baz Luhrmann direction with Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, and Gatsby.
I agree.
I do like all of those three movies of his. There's a movie that he made. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately, Baz Luhrmann didn't do Chicago, so
right, he did not. There's a movie that he made that I did not want to watch. I think it's called Australia, if I'm not mistaken. I think he made that with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman.
Yep.
It looked boring to me, so I didn't bother. I don't know if you've seen that, but I think that's the Baz Luhrmann movie, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, and I think I haven't seen it. They did some re-edit or something. It's on like Hulu or Disney Plus or something. I haven't checked it out.
Let's see. Okay, Adam and I are not the same after all. So there you go. Romeo and Juliet is amazing. I did like Romeo and Juliet. I recently rewatched it like a couple years ago, and I was like, yeah, it's not bad. Got Leo. We have what's his face? I just met him. What can't I think of his name? From Scream. Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy. Yeah, I forgot he was in that. Brick says, I'll give it a B. You're right, Gio. And if I'm comparing it to the others who won during this time. Okay, so you're changing it to B then, Brick? So looks like you're changing it to a B. S for Chicago says Feel the Burn. Okay, so we have an S. Alex Montano dropping by. Hello, Mr. Alex. Thank you for joining us. He says, Chicago is awful.
My man.
Send me a link, Gio. I'll join you in 10 minutes. Perfect, Alex.
Great.
I'll send that to you.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. So where are we at here? So we have... And the grades are pretty low for this. Well, we have an S from Feel the Burn. Let's see. This is probably going to be like a C minus. So Chicago, C minus for now. And any other thoughts, Adam? I'm going to send the link to Alex while you do that. If you have any thoughts.
No, I think that's... I was generous giving it a D.
So, all right, let's see here. So I'll give that to him right now. Okay, so it looks like we're good there. All right, let's do the next one here. Again, this is in release order. And I'm going to drop this in the middle. We have The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. All right, so the last one of the trilogy. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, this is, it's, without question, S tier. If I recall, this might be the first genre film that ever won Best Picture. Like true genre film that won Best Picture. You know, it's capping off an amazing trilogy by, you know, just an incredible picture. You know, I remember seeing this in the theater. Deservedly won Best Picture. I don't even need to hear the other nominees. This should have been. This should have been the winner.
Let me do that actually. Best Picture nominees for 2003 for movies that came out in 2003. We have Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World, Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit. I was an extra in Seabiscuit.
No kidding.
Yeah, I still can't find myself in the shot, but I was in that. I dressed up like 1920s era coats and like a little hat and everything, and I saw Tobey Maguire. He was on a fake horse riding along in the scene. So that's Best Picture nominee. Lost in Translation and Mystic River, directed by Clint Eastwood.
Good picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
those are all good pictures, actually. They're all solid films. Lord of the Rings is the clear choice. I think that's an S tier.
Okay, so that's an S tier. I'm going to give an S tier, even though I've already mentioned, I've talked about Lord of the Rings in the past. I recognize it to be it's an amazing achievement of film. It's not movies that I want to go and rewatch on a regular basis, but I acknowledge that it's masterful filmmaking. So S tier for Return of the King. Brick says S as well. Feel the Burn says A. So we got an A from Mr. Robert. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna put Lord of the Rings as an S tier. For right now, it'll be behind Gladiator. Let's see. Moving it over here. Again, just based on the grades that I have right now, right? So that's what we have there. Let's see. So let's move on to the next one here. Now, this is covering the year of 2004. Movies that came out in 2004. Best Picture winner. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying Valkyrie Magnus has an S for Return of the King too.
Oh, there you go. I just saw that right now. Mr. Valkyrie Magnus dropping by. Thank you so much for joining us. A channel member who selected the blue pill, and he will be joining us on Figure Stock tomorrow night. Mr. Valkyrie Magnus, thank you so much for joining us here. Let's see. Okay, so looking at the grades, we have an equal amount of grades between Gladiator and Return of the King, so it'll still remain as it is based on what we have. All right, so going back here to the year 2004, Best Picture winner was Clint Eastwood's $1 Million Baby. I really enjoyed this movie. Oh, sorry, that's right. Let me do that. Finding Neverland, The Aviator, Ray, and Sideways. So those were the Best Picture nominees that year. Like I said, I really enjoyed the film. I don't know if it was Best Picture worthy, but I did think it was a great film overall. Of these nominees for that year, I maybe would have given it to The Aviator, but I was fine with $1 Million Baby winning though. But so I'll give it like a B+ for $1 Million Baby.
I really enjoyed the film until the end, and I hated the end. I just hated it. The ending, I hated. So 95% of the movie I loved. For that reason, I would have to give it a B-. Okay. That movie did not stick the landing for me. But I love Clint Eastwood, and I mean the acting was. Is that the one where Hilary Swank, she won Best Actress and she forgot to thank her husband, her now ex-husband, Chad Lowe?
I think so. She did win Best Actress.
Like everyone else, I like to thank the checkout person at McDonald's and the janitor and my third cousin once removed. Oh, my husband. Yeah. And then they got divorced, right? So I wonder if it was for that reason, right? Yeah. So. It's epic. I mean, it's a very solid film. I just did not like the ending, but I had B- for me.
B-. All right, so I give it a B+. Brick is giving it a C. And Brick says Finding Neverland or Ray should have won. Let's see here.
I would have gone with The Aviator out of that group.
I really like Kate Blanchett's performance as what's her name?
Hepburn.
Katharine Hepburn. That was an amazing performance. So on that alone, I would say I would probably like it. But let's see. Valkyrie Magnus says I did like Finding Neverland, so he's giving that an A. Right, but it's for the Best Picture one. So yeah, that movie did not win Best Picture, but $1 Million Baby did. So we have B-, B+, and then a C. So it'll be behind Chicago. Oh wait, Chicago, I said C-, right? So it'll probably be like a C+ for $1 Million Baby. Okay, so there we go. C+, $1 Million Baby. Let's see. Field Burn says Ray should have won. No question, he says. Let's see there. Okay, let's move on to the next one, and let me get the nominees for that. So that would have been the 2005 Best Picture winner. So let's see here. Let me move that real quick here. So that would have been Crash, dropping that in the middle. Okay, so that one won Best Picture. The nominees that year was Munich, Good Night and Good Luck, Capote and Brokeback Mountain. Those were the nominees for Best Picture, and Crash won. Let's see. Where would you put that one, Adam?
There's a B. I'd say it's a solid film, but that's another one. That's Brokeback Mountain. What were the other three that year?
They were Capote, Munich, Good Night, and Good Luck.
You know, I really like Munich, Spielberg. That's a great film, and I like Good Night and Good Luck. And I mean, Brokeback Mountain was a pretty iconic film. Yeah, I think B minus for this one.
B minus for Crash, right? Crash.
Yeah, overrated.
Right. I would give it a B. I definitely did not think it should have won Best Picture. So, but it did. But there was other movies. Munich, even though Munich at first I didn't love it as much when I first saw it. But yeah, Brokeback Mountain, yeah, that was like you said, kind of like a big movie now when you really think about it, going back to that era, whatever, which wasn't that long ago. But so that would have been better over Crash or Munich. Good Night and Good Luck, I kind of got bored with that movie. That's the George Clooney movie, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of got bored with that film, but so I mean, I wouldn't have picked that one. But what was the other one? Oh, Capote. Capote was solid, but I don't think it was like Best Picture worthy. I liked the performance of Philip Seymour Hoffman. I thought he was great in that, but as a Best Picture, nah. But let's see.
What a great actor he was, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh yeah. Yeah, still my favorite villain of the Mission Impossible films is MI3, and that's because of his appearance in that, him being the villain in MI3. It's also J.J. Abrams' Mission Impossible movie. Let's see. Brick says Munich should have won. He says here, and Munich was my favorite. Says Valkyrie Magnus. Fear the Burn says Brokeback didn't win. No, it won for director and it won for screenplay and score, but it didn't win Best Picture. Let's see. Brick Hartman says, "Goodness, sounds like a boring year for movies." Honestly,
yeah, it's like this year.
Overall, at least, he says. All right, so let's see here. So, Brick, you're saying F for which one was it? For Crash? It says never heard of her. It says Brick. I think you're saying F for Crash. Let me know if that's what you mean, Brick, because that's going to make a big change here on the Crash grading. All right, so okay, so this is going to be, I'll keep it as a C minus right now until I get clarification from Brick there. Yes, for Crash. All right, so all right. So it'll probably be like a D plus. Crash. Like I liked a lot of cool stuff. There was a lot of good stuff in the movie. Like I said, I just didn't think it was Best Picture worthy. It says a lot when nobody talks about it, and that is true. That is true. I do sometimes forget that movie came out. So I definitely forget that it was a Best Picture winner. Let's see. So that was Crash. Let's move on to the next one here, and we have The Departed right here, jumping in the middle.
With the Boston accent you say there.
Right, exactly. So we have that in there. Martin Scorsese, right, finally got him his Best Director Oscar after decades of filmmaking. I really liked this movie. I want to say that I know a lot of people don't agree, but I actually think this is one of the better Scorsese movies. There's some Scorsese movies that a lot of people love that I did not care for. Like, what's the movie where Robert De Niro played a boxer? Raging Bull. See, I didn't like that movie, and I know that is considered like one of those top Scorsese films. I think it got nominated for Best Picture. So that's one of them, and there's some other ones that I I wouldn't have really given the best picture, but I actually did agree with this one here. The nominees for that year, that would have been 2006. We have The Queen, Little Miss Sunshine, Letters from Iwo Jima, and Babel. So those were the best picture nominees that year. And just looking at all these right here, yeah, to me it's easy. I would have easily given it to The Departed. I wouldn't give it an S. I would say A for The Departed, personally. How about you?
This is an S for me. This is one of my favorite. This is up there. It's not as good as Goodfellas as a Scorsese film. I think it's Scorsese's second best film. I love this movie from start to finish. As someone who lived in Boston for a few years, it was a remake. I think it was a Japanese film, Infernal Affairs, but he also based it somewhat on the real life exploits of James Whitey Bulger, who was the head of the Irish mob in Boston for many years. His brother was also a leading politician in Boston, and they made a film, Black Mass, about that with Johnny Depp and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yeah,
but Jack Nicholson's character is kind of like James Whitey Bulger, and and Bulger had he was an FBI informant, and one of the guys who was charged in the criminal case against Bulger was a real life FBI agent. So there's shades of it, like how Matt Damon's character was working was basically working for Jack Nicholson as the gangster. Loved Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Wahlberg. Just a freaking awesome cast in this film.
You said S. You said S tier?
S tier for me. And, every time I think of this movie, I immediately think of the Dropkick Murphys song, I'm Shipping Up to Boston.
That's exactly what I think of, too, when I think about this movie.
Love this movie. This, and to me, this is a great example. One of the, I think, unfortunately, it seems to me the Oscars is oftentimes out of step with the pop culture, and they kind of look their noses down on what is popular. And this is a film that touches all the bases of critical support, but also popular support. It was a success at the box office and a success with critics. Right. And I think that's what made this a great Best Picture winner. Hey, Alex.
Mr. Alex.
How are you guys?
Mr. Alex Montano, thank you so much for joining us.
Good to see you.
This is an S for me. And back to kind of our interest, I would love to get like third-party figures of Leo and Jack Nicholson and Matt Damon from this movie.
And your gangster universe display?
Yes, my gangster
for all your Goodfellas and all those other figures that you
with Tony Soprano here.
All right, and then, that's right, you have Tony Soprano. I forgot about that. And then your what was the other one? The Untouchables.
Goodfellas.
Untouchables and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Alex, where would you put The Departed as Best Picture in a tier list?
I would say an A.
Okay, so we got an A from Alex.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. So we have Valkyrie says A. B plus says Brick. I said A. Alex said A. Adam said S. Let's see. I think I'm missing one. Jim Collector says Little Miss Sunshine, great film. Departed is definitely an A for me. So we got an A again there. Jim Collector. Little Miss Sunshine was a fun movie. I would agree with that. I just didn't really think it was like Best Picture or anything like that. But Alice saying hi to Alex. So there.
Hey, Alice.
And Feel the Burn as well. And Brick. So everyone's saying hello to Mr. Alex. Yeah. There you go. All right. So based on these grades, we have quite a few A's. We have a B plus in there. We have an S. So let's move The Departed out of the B tier list.
This
Drop
is
it in
also
the
one of these
A.
movies that's eminently rewatchable. Some movies we've talked about are really good, but you're like, I see it once, that's enough. This is a film I can watch over and over again.
It is. Yes, I would agree with that. And I have seen it more than once, multiple times. So The Departed would be an A. So we got that there. All right. Any other thoughts on this year or this pick before we move on to 2007 Best Picture? All right. Next one is No Country for Old Men. That was the Best Picture winner that year. The Coen brothers, dropping that in the middle. The nominees that year were Michael Clayton, There Will Be Blood, Atonement, and Juno. So let's start with Mr. Alex Montano. Where would you put No Country for Old Men?
I love No Country for Old Men. I think it's a great movie, but There Will Be Blood was better. It's a better movie, and I hate that it didn't win. So, I mean, it's more like it's something more personal because I really love There Will Be Blood. So I would say No Country for Old Men is an A too. So it was a pretty good movie that year. Yeah.
All right, so we got an A from Alex. I would agree with that. I will give it an A as well. Great film. Love the film from beginning to end. Loved, of course, we're going to forget the actor's name now.
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. Exactly. You knew who I was talking about. Javier Bardem. And that chilling performance. That was craziness.
I can't remember his last name, but it's Anthony
Anthony Sugar or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
When he's asking the guy to call it.
Yeah.
So I remember that. Adam, what would you put No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I give this an A. This is a very good film. You have great performances by Javier Bardem, by Tommy Lee Jones, Coen Brothers film. It's interesting. Like I'll see this. There Will Be Blood. You just have an amazing performance, as you always do, from Daniel Day-Lewis, and I just think of, and also the first may not be his first. It wasn't his first role per se, but the first time I recognize the actor who played the Riddler in the Batman. What's his name?
Oh, Paul Dano.
Paul. Yeah, I mean he really held his own against. That's what you saw the emergence of an actor. Geez, who held his own against Daniel Day-Lewis. But just iconic role. Oh, drink it or milkshake. I give us an A for No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men. Yep. I just recently watched, and I mean this week, Fargo. So that's another Coen Brothers movie.
That would be nice for me.
And then I love them. I mean, I really liked it, but I saw some similarities in the way that it was told, the story that was told in Fargo with No Country for Old Men. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's kind of like Tommy Lee Jones's Maggie, or I think that was her name, Maggie. Marge, there you go, Marge. Frances McDormand. I saw some similarities there, but and just the whole like storytelling of it. But yeah, I really enjoyed No Country for Old Men when it first came out. I really liked it. Gio The Burn says an A for No Country for Old Men, and I think that's the only grade that I have from the live chat for No Country for Old Men, because I was saying S tier for Juno. So, yeah, that one didn't win Best Picture though. But all right, any other thoughts, guys, for No Country for Old Men?
Very iconic movie, just that. It's very iconic. Like, I think many people remember random scenes from the movie, especially like this killer is one of the most memorable. It's like the Hannibal Lecter of the 20,000s. It's really insane how little sympathy he has for human life. It's very, very raw.
I think it was a career-making performance for him.
Yes.
I would agree with that, yeah. So it's going to be an A. It'll be behind The Departed. All right, so moving on to the next one here. So this would have been the year 2008. Drop that in the middle.
Dark Knight.
where Slumdog Millionaire won Best Picture. The nominees that year: Frost Nixon, The Reader, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and Milk. Those were the Best Picture nominees that year. And yes, no Dark Knight. I'll throw this to you, Adam. Where would you put Slumdog Millionaire?
Well, again, Dark Knight should have won, but I think out of those films that you mentioned, this was the best picture out of those. I thought it was a good. I mean, I like Danny Boyle, and was it Dev Patel who is in this?
Yes.
I thought this was a solid film. Is it a top tier best picture? No. It just amazes me that I can understand you have some years where you have some just bangers of films, and when you had just 5 films nominated, that maybe Dark Knight didn't make the cut, but Dark Knight didn't make the cut, and those are the choices. Give me an effing break, seriously.
I get it.
That's it's a war crime that Dark Knight wasn't even nominated, let alone didn't win. I give Slumdog Millionaire a B.
Okay, Slumdog Millionaire. I'll give it a B plus myself. B plus for Slumdog Millionaire. I thought it was a fun, solid movie. Something different. And I wasn't expecting it to like it, you know. And of that list, yes, I would agree that was the better film. Yes, The Dark Knight definitely should have been nominated and should have won, but that didn't happen. So, how about you, Alex?
That was the year when I stopped believing in the Oscars.
Oh wow!
Because of The Dark Knight. Yeah. That was the year when I said, like, this thing is not real. Like, this thing is a joke. Like, Slumdog, it's a good movie. It made me cry. Like, I've watched it a couple times, and it always makes me cry at the end. Like, it's very moving.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Boyle did a great job. And yeah, like, I agree with you guys. Like, out of the other 4 or 5 movies, this one was the better one. But, like, the competition was like, Benjamin Button for me is the worst David Fincher movie out of them all. Like, I don't understand why that movie was nominated. Like, it's boring and predictable.
It was long.
It was so long. But The Dark Knight was like, if the Academy cares about technical stuff, fantastically edited. The cinematography was amazing. Everything about that movie, like, it was technically and story-wise, it was a perfect movie, and they didn't care. They didn't care about it, and they gave it to the next one that they thought it was good. But yeah, that was the year that I lost faith in the Academy.
Wait, so what grade would you give Slumdog?
I would say a B. B, yeah.
A B. You said B also, right, Adam?
Yeah, B.
Okay, and then I put B plus. We have let's see. Robert, did you say A for Slumdog? I'm not sure if it was from the last one, but Jim Collector says Slumdog Millionaire, fantastic film. I'd put it in A for me, he says. So I'll put an A there. So that's from Mr. Jim Collector. And then my sister Alice saying A. So we got a few A's in there. All right. And so like I mentioned earlier, you know, The Dark Knight got a lot of nominations that year, 8, and none of them were the big ones. So it's like you like purposely decided to not nominate the bigger ones. I think it won 2. It won for Heath Ledger, you know, for
that's
best supporting actor, and I think it won for, I think it was editing or sound, one of those technical ones. I forgot which.
Did
one it was.
Hans Zimmer get nominated for score?
No, he didn't qualify to be nominated.
Well,
because he used music from Batman Begins, and yet Wicked is nominated for original score. So. I love the Academy.
Right.
I love the Academy.
That's right. That's right, Adam. I mean, Alex brought that up last time when we were talking about the nominations. Yeah, that's right.
Of the Academy.
Always says no. Okay, all right. So, all right. So we got a few A's, a few B's. All right. So we'll put it like at a B plus. Slumdog B plus. Now, should it be? Yeah, it'll be ahead of A Beautiful Mind, I would say. All right, so we got that. Moving on to the next.
I just got to go back to this Dark Knight thing. It's
Sure.
you know, you look now. Obviously, it's almost 20 years later, and you know, Dark Knight's a film that continues to be looked at, continues to be studied, and you know, an incredible film. I mean, I think the greatest comic book movie of all time. One of the greatest. I think it's one of the greatest films of all time, and certainly of the last 25 years. And you talk about a movie that was, if you want to look at a movie that every era has a few movies that are emblematic of its era. There's certain films that are emblematic of the 80s, like Cold War period, like Rocky IV, Red Dawn, a few others. I think any film that's emblematic of the post 9/11 themed films, it's The Dark Knight, and the whole idea of of looking at terrorism and how far would you go to stop someone who wants to be a terrorist or do harm, and the whole idea of state state power versus freedom, and where Batman is monitoring the phones and communications of all of Gotham, and the Patriot Act. I just think it's such an incredible film. In 20 years later, almost 20 years later, it's still a powerful film. Mm-hmm. Anyway, not to be nominated is just appalling to me. It's still appalling to me. It makes me angry.
It's offensive.
Yeah.
Valkyrie says Dark Knight is one of my all-time favorite movies. Yep. Same here. Okay, the next one is the year 2009. The Best Picture was The Hurt Locker. The nominees for Best Picture that year was Avatar, The Blind Side, District 9, An Education, Inglourious Bastards, Precious, A Serious Man, Up, and Up in the Air. So that was the year, just the year after The Dark Knight. That's when they decided to now let's have more than 5 Best Picture nominees. So they had 10 for 2009. And The Hurt Locker, I thought it was a decent movie. I did not think it should have been Best Picture. It just kind of seemed like those other movies that we've seen before. I didn't really find it to be particularly special, in my opinion. So for that, I'll probably just give it like a C+. I didn't even bother rewatching it. I still haven't seen it. But how about Alex?
I like The Hurt Locker. I think it's okay, but it wasn't like amazing. It has some good themes. Like I really like the Jeremy Renner's character, and he's like obsessed with going back to war. Like I remember that was like I thought like his character was just like trying to get out, but he wanted to be there. Or at least that's what I remember. It's kind of disturbing. I think it's interesting, and I think it's also like it was a very like touchy subject back then when it was released. I think that it was like, what's the other movie that came out around that time? Brothers from
with Tobey Maguire and
it's a remake from a Danish movie, I think. But I don't know, like it's okay, but it's not a movie that I would go back and watch and think about it like a movie that changed history forever. It's
right.
Okay, I would give it a C.
Yeah, I just feel like I've seen a lot of those movies. I mean, they made a lot of movies about the Iraq War and stuff like that. So they made a lot of them. So this one was just like another one. It wasn't like the first one. And yeah, it was had some things that you mentioned, Alex. But to me, it's like, well, it was, it was okay. It was fine. But, I didn't think, oh, this is Best Picture right here. So, and there's a lot of, even Up, I would have given it to Up over, I can't remember the movie now. The Hurt Locker. Those other movies like Inglourious Bastards.
I would give it to Inglourious Bastards.
I would have just given it to Inglourious Bastards, just period.
Yeah.
I even like District 9. I enjoyed District 9. I would have given that over Hurt Locker. So I mean, that's just me here, obviously. But Adam, how about you?
I think this is a solid film. It's a solid war film. It put Jeremy Renner and Anthony Mackie, who is a co-starring role, on my radar screen. There's a Captain Bigelow directed this. This is I think it's a pretty. I'm a fan of the war film genre. It's a solid war film. And if I recall from the time, it was kind of as an apolitical film, really, war film. At the time, there were some Iraq war films that have a more political bent to them. So I think that this film probably is, those movies, I'm not sure that they stand the test of time as much as this one, I think, does. I recently watched it within the last year with Emily. Now, there's some very good films that year that you mentioned that were also nominated, including Up, as an animated film. I think that's an outstanding Pixar film. You can make the case that could have won Best Picture,
Right.
Because I think it's a classic Disney Pixar film. I give this a B.
All right, so I got a B.
It's a solid film. It's not top tier for me, though.
Right. All right, let's see. So we don't have anything from the live chat. Okay, so we have 2 C's in there. Oh, Jim Collector says, I put Hurt Locker, I put a B. Haven't thought about that film in years, he says. So, all right, so we got a B there from Mr. Jim Collector. All right, so we have 2 B's, 2 C's. Mine was like a C plus. So let's see here. Let's put it as a C plus. Now, would it be ahead of $1 Million Baby or behind?
I put it ahead of $1 Million Baby for me.
How about you, Alex? I know you didn't grade it because you were not in here yet, but
I like $1 Million Baby more.
okay. And I would say that I like $1 Million Baby more as well. So I'll put in the middle. Hurt Locker there. But we both agree it'll be ahead of Chicago, right?
I hate Chicago.
Yes.
I hate it, and I hate that director. I hate him so much.
Wait, what's the name of that director? He's directed
Rob Marshall, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Rod
hate
Marshall?
him. Yeah, I think it's Rob Marshall. Yeah.
Yeah, Rob
Okay.
Marshall.
Oh, okay.
I can't stand that guy. Like,
Field Burn
I
says,
think the
really
only
need to
movie
watch-
that I kind of like of him is Memories of a Geisha. Memoirs of a Geisha. That's the only one I kind of like. Yeah.
It was solid. It was a solid
Yeah.
movie, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about it until you brought it up, but I remember it being.
The score is very, very, very nice.
I remember it was a very beautiful looking movie as well.
Yeah.
Field Burn says, I really need to watch Up. Yes, Field
Oh.
Burn, definitely watch it. Definitely watch this on Disney Plus. Jim Collector says, Up was fantastic. Kind of jealous you get to watch it for the first time still. Yeah. See, Jack, go watch it. Field Burn says, stop, Alex, with the whole
Why?
Chicago thing.
Oh, he likes it?
Yeah, he likes Chicago. He graded it pretty high.
Oh,
All right, so we got that. So that was the Hurt Locker covering the year 2009. All right, so let's move on covering the year 2010. Drop that in the middle. That's the King's Speech. The King's Speech. The King's Speech. Let me get the Best Picture nominees for that year. Where is it here? All right, here we go. Here we go. So we have Black Swan, The Fighter, Inception, The Kids Are All Right, 127 Hours, The Social Network, Toy Story 3, True Grit, and Winter's Bone. So those were the Best Picture nominees that year. I was bored out of my mind of the King's Speech, so I'm gonna give that probably like an. Okay, the performances, the acting was top notch, right? So I can't give it an F just because of that. So I'll give it like a D. But I did not like this movie. So, Adam.
This is the type of I thought the King's Speech and I keep using this word solid, but is this is something that should be, now this is 2011, 2012 we're talking here?
It came out to 2010.
2010, so it's a few years too early for it. But this is the type of thing that I would see on, this would be season 1 or season 2 of The Crown. This is something I'd see on Netflix. It's not, it's not
Right.
worthy of some of the other films that were mentioned in that list. I mean, you have Inception. I mean, that's an incredible film.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is, to me, I'm just double checking. What were the other films again?
Social Network,
Oh.
Toy Story 3, the remake of True Grit, Winter's Bone, Black Swan, The Fighter.
The Fighter, good film. Yeah, you got Inception. True Grit's a very good remake. Toy Story 3. I like Toy Story 2 better, but Toy Story 3 is still a solid film. And the Social Network is another one. I recently rewatched that with my daughter, and that film really holds up.
Yeah.
Just the Best Picture didn't, of those nominees, this was not it. I think this is a C for me. A C minus.
C minus. King's Speech. The score and the Social Network. The Social Network is one of my favorite.
Trent Reznor, right?
Yes. Yeah. I love the score. I used to listen to the score, the soundtrack of that movie for like years. I just really like it. And they didn't get nominated this year for Challengers, because also the score for Challengers also amazing, but they didn't get nominated for that one. But
I saw when he was with when he was 9 Inch Nails, I saw him
in
concert with David Bowie.
Oh wow!
That was
That's cool.
freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome for sure. Let's see. Alice says Social Network S tier. Valkyrie Magnus says, I'm a history guy, so The King's Speech was a good movie, but Inception for me was amazing. Yes, Inception. Christopher Nolan, definitely. Jim Collector says, maybe it hits more if you're British, but I loved King's Speech. Inception I thought was good, but honestly slightly overrated. All right, so there you go, Mr. Jim Collector.
Yeah, I thought The King's Speech was a good film. I gave the C minus grade, not so much for the film, but as compared to other Oscar nominees in that year.
The fiction numbers, yeah, for sure.
It does feel like a mini series from the BBC. Like it feels and looks like that. It's nothing special.
What do you give that? The King's Speech, Alex?
A D. I think it's a decent movie. I'm not a fan of the director. I think he's pretty average. I think he got lucky with this movie, and with Les Mis, I mean, like the same thing. Like I don't think he is anything really special. Honestly, you had Inception there, Black Swan, Toy Story 3. You had just those two, like Aronofsky and Nolan, like defying the rules of cinema, like modern cinema, like reinventing things. And they completely ignore that, and they go for the obvious pick, like the usual Oscar bait movie, where they talk about something that's, like inspiring, and I don't know, like it's not a bad movie, but it's not like I really don't think a lot of people remember this movie saying like, oh, you remember The King's Speech? It was a beautiful and memorable movie that changed cinema forever. I think it's just there, and yes.
It was you said B, right? B.
No, D.
D like David or B like boy? I can't tell.
D like David. Like
David.
David.
it is D like David. Okay, so same grade as me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and that was it Tom Hooper who directed this?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he won Best Director too.
Yeah.
And then later he directed
and
Cats.
then he did Cats, yeah.
Right.
And he's in director jail since then, and yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen Cats, but just the trailer.
I don't like this director, really.
Yeah, so far I haven't been too impressed with Tom Hooper. Sorry, but let's see. Jose Plus, Gio, I need a wrench need to put people in timeout for this wild takes. Wow, Jose. Right. All right. So we got a few grades there. Let's see. I don't think I got any grades from the live chat actually, but from you guys, we got a C-, a D, and a D. Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be a D. Says the girls are fighting. Says Alice. All right, so let's move it to like a D plus. D plus. King's Speech, Best Picture. All right, let's move on to the next one here. So we have the year 2011, dropping that in the middle, and the Best Picture winner that year was the film called The Artist. I believe it's a French movie. Let's see. So what were the Best Picture nominees? Hold on a sec, guys. Hold on a sec. All right, Best Pictures for that year was The Descendants, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, The Help, Hugo, Midnight in Paris, Moneyball, The Tree of Life, War Horse. I did not like this movie, The Artist. Like, I think they were talking. I think it's set during the what do you call it? During the silent film era, when they were just doing the talkies or whatever. They're just starting to, do the audio and stuff like that or whatever. I forget about this movie. It's one of those movies that I didn't care watching. I definitely don't care rewatching it. So it's probably gonna be. I think it's probably worse than King's Speech for me. So I'm gonna give it a D minus. Like I understand, I acknowledge, like this is the era of cinema. Then, like I enjoyed that part, I guess, but just overall, it's not a movie for me. And I don't know why it won Best Picture. Although I do feel that year was kind of weak when it comes to just movies in general. 2011, but again, that's just my opinion. But let's throw this to Mr. 1 out of 12. How about The Artist?
Yeah, I think it was a weak year. I think, in terms of films, I think Moneyball, The Descendants, or The Tree of Life were superior films. Even Hugo, which is, I think, maybe one of Scorsese's weakest films, probably his weakest film, is still better than this. I give this one a D.
All right, so we got a D there.
And to me, this is when you. Sorry to interrupt. This is when you're starting to see the Oscars. Maybe it started with them not nominating Dark Knight, and then continued over the following years, losing relevance with people. And I'm curious to see if you look at the ratings. This is maybe when the ratings. I know last year it did pick up because they actually nominated a few films, including
like Barbie,
Barbenheimer, that actually had a popular resonance with people. So the ratings did increase, but you've seen a steep decline in ratings because it's just not relevant for people.
Alex, The Artist.
I don't like that movie. I think it's funny because Singing in the Rain did the same thing.
Oh yeah,
pretty much
better.
The exact same thing, and it's a good movie.
And
it's like the Academy forgot about it, and yeah, I think The Artist is a very average movie. I don't care. I thought The Tree of Life should have won that year. I think that's a very beautiful movie.
I didn't like that movie.
You don't like it? You don't like? I really like Terrence Malick, but
I don't like Terrence Malick.
I do. you know that
that one movie that he made in what was it called? Set in the Vietnam War. The Thin Red Line.
Thin Red
Line.
Thought
that was. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hated that movie too. So it's like, it's not. I'm not a fan of the director, but
that's okay. That's okay.
So, but yeah, it was just a weak year. But yeah. So I'm sorry. Well, you said, was it a D as well?
I didn't say yet, but
what is it?
I would say an F, to be honest.
Oh damn! So
yes.
Got an F. All right, so got an F. Okay, so I got a D from Adam, D from me. Jim Collector says, never did watch The Artist. I need to remedy that at some point. Got a lot of heat for not watching that, considering I was studying a film degree at the time. All right, so yeah.
Me too. I was in film school and I didn't like it. And I was a pretentious student that year. Very pretentious student.
And it's funny. It's funny you mentioned Singing in the Rain, because Singing in the Rain is one of the musicals that I do like. And
I love that movie.
And it's about the same thing, basically.
This exactly the same thing. It's the same thing, but it's honest and it doesn't feel like a pretentious French film.
Right. All right.
Like that's the truth.
All right, let's see here. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any other grades there. So we have a bunch of D's and F's. So where did I put it? I'm gonna put a D minus just because it's not all F's, but D minus for the artists. All right, so let's move on to the next one here. Where are we? Argo. Putting that in the middle. It's Ben Affleck's Argo film, and that year for 2012. Let's see. Wait, where is it? Hold on a second, guys. Best Picture nominees that year was Beasts of the Southern Wild, Django Unchained, Les Miserables, Life of Pi, Lincoln, A Silver Linings Playbook, and Zero Dark 30. So there's a few films in here that I actually did like. Then we have Argo, right? So let's start with Adam.
This is a much better year. I think Lincoln is a late career high for Spielberg. I think that's an excellent picture. And I believe, did Daniel Day-Lewis win Best Actor for that?
Yeah.
I enjoyed Argo. I think that's a very good thriller, and historical thriller. I would give this an A. I love Ben Affleck. I give this an A. I think great cast too. And this, to me, this is another one I've seen a few times. It's a very rewatchable film.
Yeah, this was more like it was a solid movie for me. It's not one of those movies that I feel like I need to rewatch. I would probably give it like a B. You said an A, right, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the other films, maybe an A minus.
A minus. Okay, A minus. Yeah, because I really liked Django Unchained that year. Lincoln, I really liked Lincoln. I enjoyed Silver Linings Playbook and Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, all those are very solid pictures.
Let's see, Beasts of the Southern Wild. I was kind of bored with that one. Les Miserables, it's a musical, so there's only so much that I would have liked from that movie anyway. Life of Pi was solid, but yeah, I would give Argo a B. How about you, Alex?
B. Same as you.
Okay, got a B.
It reminded me too much of Munich.
Mm.
It felt kind of similar, but it was a good movie.
Valkyrie Magnus says A for Argo. That's a big fan of Argo there. All right, so we got a couple of A's, a couple of B's. Let's see. So, I mean, it can't be a B. I'm sorry, it can't be an A. So let's put it like a... Let me check the grades from Slumdog. How was the Slumdog grades? No, Slum got better grades. So it's going to have to go behind that. How about A Beautiful Mind? Should Argo be ahead or behind A Beautiful Mind?
Oh, ahead.
Yeah, I think so too.
You said ahead?
I think ahead.
Ahead, okay. So it'll be a B. Valkyrie says B for Les Miserables. Am I saying that right? I feel like I'm not saying that right. Okay.
Les Mis.
Les Mis, there you go. I think got Anne Hathaway her Oscar, I think, for that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was the year 2012. Let's move on to 2013. 12 Years a Slave, dropping that in the middle. This movie, it was solid, but again, I feel like I might have seen this movie before, so that's why I didn't really think it was Best Picture. worthy, in my opinion, at least at this point in cinematic history. I'll also just give it like maybe like a B minus around there. B minus. How about you, Alex?
What else was nominated that year?
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me go there. That would have been the year 2013, right? So let's see. Let me go back over there. That year we have Best Picture nominees besides 12 Years a Slave. We have, where is it? It is, oh, here we go. 12 Years a Slave, American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena. I don't even remember that movie actually. The Wolf of Wall Street. Those were the Best Picture nominees that year.
Okay. Yeah, 12 Years a Slave. I barely remember it. I remember some really crude shots from it. Were very
Oh yeah.
difficult to watch. Yeah. I would give it a B. I think it's a solid movie. But like you guys said, like you've seen that before. It's nothing. I mean, it's a historical movie. Pretty good. Well made. But
You
I
said
think
B, right?
Gravity. Yeah. I think Gravity and Her were better movies. I think my favorite that year was Hair.
Oh, that's with Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix. I tried watching Nebraska and I was bored, so I stopped watching it.
I love that director. I think Alexander Payne was the director of that one.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that guy.
I mean, I've liked some other movies that he's made, but not this one, not Nebraska. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, this is a case. Again, the Oscar gets it wrong. I think American Hustle, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, and Wolf of Wall Street are all superior films. So I would give this a B minus.
Okay. Same as me, B minus. Adam, myself, and Alex gives it a B. Let's see. So let me put that back here to. It could probably stay where it's at, unless we get some other grades from the chat. But it'll be a B minus.
I think it's better than A Beautiful Mind.
Do you?
Yeah.
How about you? How about you, Adam? Do you think it's better than A Beautiful Mind?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move it ahead of that. All right. Let's see. Next one is the year 2014. 2014. That's the year Birdman won, right? Alejandro González Iñárritu. Let's do that real quick here.
Mexican fellow.
Mexican, right? Mexican director. Dropping that in the middle. Birdman. The nominees for Best Picture that year were. If I can find it real quick here. Okay, American Sniper. Was that really 2014? Oh, it was 2014. I was thinking it was 2015 for some reason. Okay, American Sniper, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. So that was 2014. So where would you put Birdman? Alex.
Oh, I really like Birdman. I didn't like it the first time I watched it, but second time I really enjoyed it. But I think Whiplash is way better, and it's funny that both movies use drums a lot to tell the story.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny. But I really enjoy Birdman. I think Iñárritu is a great director. It's very different from what you see in Hollywood right now. He worked in advertising for many years, and then he moved to make movies. So it's kind of interesting how his career changed. And I don't know, I really like Birdman. I wouldn't say that it's a best picture movie. I think Whiplash was better, but I do like it. I would give it a B.
All right, a B.
Yeah.
Okay, a B from Alex. For me, I didn't like it as much. I didn't like it as much as others. I just didn't really find much out of it. I'll probably give it like a C plus. I thought the performances were good, but I mean, there's only so much that you can do with performances. But this is the film that it was. It made it seem like it was shot continuously, right? Like it was one shot.
Yeah.
Not the whole movie, but like 15 minutes of the movie, it's a water shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember something about that. Yeah, but
Yeah, not the whole movie, but yeah, there's a sequence when Michael Keaton walks out of the theater. It's a water, so you see like a continuous shot until he gets back in the theater. He's walking with his underwear.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's very well made. Yeah.
And then Adam, Birdman.
I remember. Actually, my wife and I were just talking about this today when I was telling her about the stream, and I remember we rented it. We watched the first 45 minutes, and my wife walked out. She's like, "What the hell is this?" And she hated it, and she went to bed. I kept watching it. I love Michael Keaton. I loved his performance. Did not like the film. I think Boyhood was robbed that year. I really think Boyhood was an extraordinary. How Richard Linklater filmed that over the course of several years. Yeah, I think he was robbed of Best Picture. I think that's a much greater achievement in film and a powerful film. I give this a D.
Okay.
Did not like this film.
So we got a D.
Wasn't for me. This wasn't for me.
I understand. Like, I completely understand. Yeah. It's not an easy movie to watch. Like, it's like I had to watch it twice to actually feel like interested, because I really didn't like it the first time. I felt the same way as your wife. Like my wife actually hated it and never wanted to watch it again.
Too wise, right?
Yeah.
Hating the movie.
My wife didn't like Iñárritu at all. Like, she hated him until, oddly enough, like he made a surrealistic film a couple of years ago called Bardo, and she loved that movie. And it's the weirdest film it's one of the weirdest films I've seen in my life. It's about like Mexican culture, and it's really weird. And my wife loved that one.
Wait, which one?
Bardo.
It's called Bardo?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're not talking about Babel, right?
No.
Okay.
Actually, fun fact. In Babel, the Mexican that gets married is my cousin.
Huh.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. Though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got D, C plus, and a B. Okay, so it's gonna be kind of low here. So let's see. Let's move this to a C minus. Oh, is it gonna be behind Chicago?
Oh no.
Or ahead Chicago?
Ahead of Chicago. I fucking hate that movie.
Me too.
I don't hate Birdman. I didn't really like it.
You just don't like
I hate
it. Yeah.
Chicago. Yeah. There's a difference.
That shit's hilarious. All right. Drew Collector says I'd go C for Birdman, but I have chosen American Sniper or Theory of Everything over that. Imitation Game was good as well. I did like Imitation Game, actually. I never did watch.
So bored with that one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Never did watch Grand Budapest Hotel. That's the Wes Anderson movie, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't see Boyhood either, actually.
I don't like Wes Anderson.
Yeah, me either. Some people just, he's not my thing. I don't get him.
He's not.
That's
my
why we're
thing
friends,
either.
Adam. That's why we're friends. Yeah.
Oh, he's not my thing either. But
Yeah.
it's like, I don't like his style. Like, I know he has his little style or whatever, but it's like, to me, it doesn't work for me. I think this one is probably the best one of his, though, Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yes.
But even so, I mean, it's just not. No.
It's like the typical film student favorite director. It's just like I can't, like, the Royal Tenenbaums of Life Aquatic of whatever, like all those movies, they just feel like, I don't know, like someone trying too hard to be artistic,
Quirky, and yeah,
not for me. Sorry if someone loves him.
The Life of Aquatic, what's it called? Life for Aquatic, whatever.
Oh, Sulu or something like that.
Steve Zissou or something. Yeah,
I fucking hated that movie. So, I saw that in the theater. I was like, "What the hell am I watching?" It's like I almost left a couple times. I mean, I stayed, but
I left with Darjeeling Unlimited. I don't know if you watched that one.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
Dude, I left the theater. I think I've done that like 3 times in my life. With that one, I walked out.
Oh wow.
Like I couldn't get it. So
yeah. So we got a C from Mr. Jim Collector for Birdman, right? Yeah, Birdman. So let me see. Will it move it up? Let me see. Hurt Locker. What did Hurt Locker get? Hurt Locker got. No, I got better grades than Birdman, so it'll stay where it's at. Let's see. Alice says, "You guys are making me want to watch Chicago," so I will report back on the next.
You know what's the worst thing? Like I know all the damn songs of that musical.
I know a good amount of them too, actually. So, yeah.
I don't know that.
Then we have Jose Plus says, "I hated Boyhood." So there you go. Hateful, just hateful, says Feel the Burn. Valkyrie Magnus says Life Aquatic was not good at all. And that's with Bill Murray, right? I think Bill Murray was in that. Yeah. All right, so there we go. Next one is Spotlights, dropping that in the middle. Let's see, what were the nominees? So that would have been the year 2015. So the year Star Wars The Force Awakens came out, right?
The day that all ended.
Let's see here. Where is it? Best Picture 2015. Hold on a sec, guys. Okay, here we are. Winner Spotlights. Yes, we got that. The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, the Spielberg film, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, which I don't think Adam enjoyed, but The Martian, Ridley Scott, The Revenant, and Room. Those were the Best Picture nominees 2015. The winner again was Spotlight. Spotlight I did not really like. I just kind of found it kind of boring. But and I was kind of surprised that it actually made it to Best Picture consideration and then actually winning. The subject matter, it's, I understand, that they have to go that route, so whatever. But to me, it's like, well, I didn't really find it interesting enough that I would say Best Picture, and just ultimately it kind of bored me, to be perfectly honest with you. But that was Spotlight, so I would probably give it again, good performances. A lot of them have good performances. A lot of these Best Picture ones usually have good acting, but not enough for me. But I'm gonna say a D. But again, that's just me. But Alex, Spotlight.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. All right. So you didn't watch that. Adam, did you watch it?
I did. I think this is an example of the Oscars and the Academy rewarding a film based on issues and not on the merits and quality of the film. I do think it's a good film, and as someone who got my start as a reporter, and I work with reporters all the time, I think this is actually one of the better films that shows how news is gathered, and the behind the scenes of the news gathering process. I think this is a pretty accurate in that sense. Some very, very good performances, but compared to I think Bridge of Spies is a very good film, Spielberg. I think Brooklyn, a small film, very well made film.
I like
The Martian. I love The Martian. I think that's that's actually Ridley Scott's best film in a long time.
Gladiator. This is Gladiator, probably.
Since Gladiator, he's a very prolific director.
Since Gladiator,
and he's got, his batting average is kind of low, but when he hits, sometimes he gets it, over the monster, and so he's got some big hits. but he's also a lot of misses. I think Room is a solid, small film. I thought that was a good picture, and I like The Revenant too. Mad Max Fury Road, very well done. What I did not like about it is my issue with that. It should have been called. It shouldn't have been called Mad Max. It should have been called Furiosa. Because she was the lead character, and Mad Max was, to me, barely in that film. And as someone who's a fan of the original 3 Mel Gibson movies, I want Mad Max. I don't want Furiosa. But that's my complaint. My complaint about that movie as a whole. I think it's a better film than Spotlight. I think Best Picture should have gone to The Martian that year. I'd give this film I'd give it a B, just in the sense of I think it was a well done showcase of how journalists work. But to me, this is not. I wouldn't go, and I saw it on TV. I would not go to a cinema for this.
No.
This is,
I didn't
this
do
is
it.
HBO Max. This is Netflix. So I give it a B minus.
Yeah. This I think this was the year where the Golden Globes considered The Martian to be under musical or comedy as their category for Best Picture.
Yeah, you're right.
And I was like, what the hell is comical about The Martian? Like, I'm sure there was like moments where there's like funny scenes, but it's not a comedy. It's definitely not a musical. But I remember that one though. That was kind of
because he had that one joke. We're gonna science the shit out of this, and it's a comedy. I don't know why. There were some
Right.
funny parts. There's some jokes in it, but it's not a comedy.
Right, but like most movies, I think like most movies have a few jokes in there, right? So, Jose says, Adam, I don't want Furiosa. Seems to be a common sentiment, as no one showed up for her solo movie. That is,
Yeah, because people want Mad Max. I want Mad Max. This is like the Hollywood trend is if you're gonna rate, have just Furiosa. I don't know. We're getting off the tangent here. I don't want to get into that.
right.
Because
So we
I'll get canceled.
we gotta be. You mean I'll get canceled? Adam got a B, and then we have a D, and those are the only grades that we have. So it'll be in the C range, like C minus range around there. C. But is it behind Birdman, or is it behind Chicago?
It's ahead of Chicago.
It's ahead of Chicago. So is it ahead of Birdman?
Sure.
Ahead of Birdman, okay. Let's see. Jim Collector says, never watched Spotlight. Honestly, I thought The Revenant won that year, right? Yeah, I think because Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, he won Best Director, and then Leo won Best Actor, but he didn't win Best Picture. Yeah, that was a year, right? 2015. Yeah, that was.
I mean, it's just crazy to me that you could have an awards where the director can win, but the picture that he directed does not win, or vice versa.
Right.
It's
yeah, it happens sometimes. I think it's gonna happen this year, but I'll tell you guys.
Who do you think is gonna win?
Well, I'll save that for next Saturday. So,
Okay.
But yeah, so that's where we're at there. Okay, so let's see. Life Aquatic wasn't for me, but others liked it, says Valkyrie Magnus. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I know anyone who really liked it, but
I do, and they are all very pretentious people.
wow. Okay.
just last thought on Spotlight. I think they were trying to be All the President's Men, and it wasn't All the President's Men.
Oh, okay.
I have to watch it. Like, I don't know why. I just didn't care about it when it came out.
The next one is Moonlight, 2016. Okay, so that was the year where, who was it? was it Warren Beatty and who was, forgot what the actress.
Oh yeah, they screwed up the
The
winners.
yeah,
Faye
they said that
Dunaway.
it was. Oh, there you go. I think it was her, right? Yeah. They said it was La La Land who won Best Picture, but it was actually Moonlight. I guess she was reading the Best Actress card or something like that, where Emma Stone won. The Best Picture for that year was, let me look at the nominees real quick here. So we have, where did it go? Oh, here it is. 2016, that was Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water. You know, I forgot that I got Best Picture nomination, actually. Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, and Manchester by the Sea. So those were the Best Picture nominees that year, 2016. Let's throw this to Alex. Did you watch Moonlight?
I didn't like it. I know it's a good movie, but it wasn't for me. I think like that year, I liked The Arrival more. What else did you mention? I forgot.
What was that?
What other movies were nominated?
Hacksaw Ridge, Fences, Hell or High Water, which I like.
Okay,
Figures,
yeah, I like that one too.
La La Land, Lion, and Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think most of the other movies were better than Moonlight. Yeah. No, like I really don't even remember much about Moonlight. I think it was just an okay movie, but
Okay.
yeah, not really. I don't know. I think like even La La Land was a better choice than
Yeah.
Moonlight. Yeah,
Well, which grade it?
I would say a C.
A C. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. For me, I'll give it a C as well. Actually, it wasn't a bad movie. It's just, again, one of those examples where, how is this Best Picture, type of thing. It's like there's so many other ones of that year alone, but like it wouldn't cross my mind to say, this is a Best Picture contender after watching it.
I think it's a kind of movie that does well in a film festival, but not at the Oscars. Like,
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
When we chatted yesterday, I thought I didn't see this, so this is so forgettable. I was beforehand today. I was just reading up.
Oh,
and I'm like, yeah, I did see this film, but it's so forgettable to me that I can't even remember seeing it. I think the movie that should have won out of that group is Arrival. I think that's an incredible science fiction film, one of the best sci-fi films I've seen in the last 25 years. So I would, and I to me, Arrival is like an A level film. That's a fantastic film. I give this a C. I agree with you guys.
Okay, so another C there. And Arrival being a Denis Villeneuve film.
Yes.
Jose
In fact,
says,
that might even be S tier for me. Arrival, such a good film.
Oh, okay.
yes.
What
The
is it?
soundtrack is, like, the whole score from that movie is beautiful.
Let's see. Jose says Ali, Mahershala Ali, do not deserve his Oscar for Moonlight. He was in 3 scenes, and there were better performances. I would agree with that, Jose. Actually, I think Mahershala Ali's Oscar win was worthy for his second win for Green Book, not his first one, which was this one right here for Moonlight. When I saw the movie, I didn't think Oscar. When I saw his performance, just in general, just the movie and the performance, but I would agree with that. Lion was phenomenal too. I really liked Lion. Actually,
Totally agree.
I was surprised.
That made me cry like a baby. Totally agree.
That was with Nicole Kidman, right? As well.
Yes.
I think she was in
Dev
that.
Patel.
Yeah, it was great. I really like that. Jim Collector says, "Wow, only 2 films of these I've seen was Hacksaw Ridge and La La Land." La La Land, I mean, I think it's a good, solid musical. Like I said, not a big fan of musicals, and I thought La La Land was pretty good. I thought it was going to win. And that was a year where we got the Best Director winning an Oscar, but the Best Picture did not. So that was another example there. Valkyrie says, La La Land, my wife and daughter loved it. I fell asleep. Yes, I
Yeah.
see.
We watched about 40 minutes of La La Land and shut it off. We couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, wow. All right. So there you go there. Okay, so we have, let's see. Oh, Fielderman says S for Moonlight. So there you go. So that's an S for Roberts, and the rest of them are C's. All right. So then this will probably move. It'll probably stay where it's at. Actually, no, it'll probably be higher. More like a C plus. Should it be ahead of $1 Million Baby?
I like $1 Million Baby more.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. I didn't
Ahead
like
of-
the end of $1 Million Baby, but I like the movie.
Ahead of Hurt Locker?
No.
Nah, Hurt Locker is better.
Ahead of Spotlight? I would say yes, but how about you, Adam?
I liked Spotlight more.
Okay. Wow, ahead of Birdman.
Birdman
Yes.
is a better movie. It's better made. Like it at least like
Yeah, all right. I agree with that.
yeah, like even if you don't like it, like technically it's a more
Yeah.
it
it's an
accomplishes
achievement.
more. Yeah,
Okay. And the real question, ahead of Chicago.
of course.
Yeah,
All right.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. There you go, Robert. So Moonlight is at least ahead of Chicago. But I know you love Chicago too, but there you go. Let's see. Jose says, Gio, look up who Ali beat for his Oscar. He's talking about this year, 2016. Let's see, best supporting actor for 2016, because I don't remember actually. Where is it? Because now I'm actually curious. Actor in a supporting role. Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water. Lucas Hedges for Manchester by the Sea. Dev Patel. Dev Patel won for Lion. Yeah, that was good. Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals. I forgot about Nocturnal Animals. I actually liked
That
that
movie's
movie.
messed up. Yeah,
I liked it, but I forgot about.
I liked it too.
I forgot about it though. But Jim Collector says I enjoyed La La Land a lot, to be honest. Yeah, I know a lot of people love La La Land. Yeah. Okay, we won't kick you out, Jim. Says Jose. I give Moonlight a B minus. Says Jose plus. Okay, let's get that. B minus. Thanks, Jose. I appreciate that. It says. All right, so let's see. So will that move Moonlights though? Let's look at the Birdman grades. Jose, should Moonlight be ahead, Birdman? I don't think you'll agree with that, so I'll keep it like that. Let me know if that's not correct. Okay, moving on to the next one here. So we just have a few left here. All right, so here we go. So we have Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water, dropping that in the middle. The nominees that year, that was 2017, right? 2017. Let's see who we have here, or what we have here. Where is it? Shape of Water. Call Me by Your Name. Darkest Hour. Wait, which one's Darkest Hour? Oh, that's the one with
That's about Churchill.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
Gary
That's the one.
Oldman.
Dunkirk. Yeah, he won Best Actor, right, that year
Yeah.
for playing Churchill. Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, which I still haven't seen. I think that was his last Daniel Day-Lewis performance, I believe. The Post, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Let's go to Adam.
First of all, if you want a very good double feature, watch The Darkest Hour and then Dunkirk, because they're kind of two sides to.
Oh, yeah.
I recently rewatched Shape of Water with Emily. I think this is a very good film. Did I like it more than Dunkirk? I'm not sure if I did, because I really like Dunkirk, but that might be Nolan's weakest film.
You said Dunkirk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. I would agree with that.
Is Nolan's weakest film?
I think so.
Yeah. I think it might be. Having said that, his weakest film is still better than many others.
Right.
I'd give this an A. I think this is an A minus. You know, this is maybe this is like the second or third genre film that I think this might be the second genre film that ever won best picture. The first being Return of the King.
I think so. Sounds about right. You said you give it an A, right?
Yeah.
An A. I would give it a B. Compared to the other ones, yeah, like there's Call Me by Your Name. I think I probably like Call Me by Your Name maybe a little bit more. Dunkirk, yeah, I would say Dunkirk, even though like you mentioned, Adam, it might be the weakest Christopher Nolan movie. Get Out. I thought it was okay. I never really thought it was like Best Picture. Lady Bird was a bit boring. Phantom Thread I didn't watch. The Post I did like, but I don't know about Best Picture though. And
I think that might be one of Spielberg's weakest.
And The Post, I think he made it like within less than a year.
Yeah,
because I remember they announced that he was going to make it, and then by the end of the year, it was ready for release. Not that you need like all these special effects for this kind of movie, but still. And then what was the other one that I saw here? Three Billboards. Three Billboards. I thought it was okay. I thought it was kind of overrated personally, but so yeah, I would give The Shape of Water a B. How about you, Alex?
Del Toro is my favorite Mexican director. I think this movie is not his best. Like I think Pan's Labyrinth was way better.
Yes.
It had a stronger message than this one. But still, like I really appreciate that they cared about this type of movie. So I would give it an A. And I think the weakest Nolan film is The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I still like The Dark Knight Rises a little more.
Yeah, it's still a good movie. It's still a good movie, but I think like Dunkirk, I don't know, I really liked it. Really. The Shape of Water is it's an A. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Classy Thomas dropping by says, "Hey Gio and the great panel. Thank you so much, Mr. Classy Thomas.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well there. Much appreciated there. Then saying hello to Mr. Jose. Let's see. Valkyrie Magnus says, I agree. Dunkirk was his weakest film too. Not bad, but not the greatest. Right. I would agree with that. Yes. Let's see. Then we have Jim Collector says, I'd give this an A. Good films on here. Dunkirk was a good watch, but not amazing. Right. Call Me by Your Name was really good. Yeah, I would agree with that. Jim Collector. I absolutely loved Get Out, says Mr. Jim Collector. Let's see. So we have we don't have any grades for this except us, right? So we have A, B, and A. Okay, so I do have to kind of let's see where we would put this at. I'll put them in the B range. Should it be behind Slumdog or ahead of it? Slumdog Millionaire.
Adam, you decide. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be ahead.
Ahead of Slumdog?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll keep it there. All right, let's see. All right, let's do the next one here. We just have a few left. Green Book, directed by one of the Farrelly brothers. So that won Best Picture. Now let me see what are some of the other ones that won that year. Let's see here. So we have Best Picture that year. We have we have Black Panther. I think the only MCU movie that's good nominated for Best Picture. Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorites, Roma, It's Alfonso Cuarón's film. A Star is Born and Vice. So those were the nominees for Best Picture that year. So it's Alex this time.
Green Book was okay. I didn't feel like it was like a theatrical experience to watch, but it was a nice movie. I would give it a B. I have little recollection of the whole events of the movie, but it was a good movie. Viggo Mortensen was great. Yeah, a B, just where it's at. It's good.
Yeah, we'll give it a B. It's one of those movies, like I mentioned, I wouldn't think Best Picture. And there's some other. I mean, I like Black Panther more, but I mean, maybe because I like the MCU part of it. But I did like Bohemian Rhapsody. I know some people didn't like that movie. I actually did like it, probably more than Green Book. Roma was solid. It was a little, slow at moments, but
yeah.
A Star is Born, I liked it too, but I don't think I care to rewatch it. Vice, I didn't really like Vice that much actually. Isn't that oh, never mind. I was thinking of someone else, some other filmmaker.
That's Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So I'm sorry, what did you give it, Alex?
B.
Oh, you said a B. Okay. And then Adam?
I think this is, to me, the best pick, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Klansman, and A Star is Born are superior films. A Star is Born, if nothing else, just this, probably the reason that's even on the list is that scene where Bradley Cooper singing "Shallow" and Lady Gaga comes up on stage, because everyone, that's just, I remember they released that scene or the video to that before the film came out, and I was just like, wow, that's the whole movie right there. Actually, that's the most important part.
That's probably true. Actually.
Black Klansman, it's not Spike Lee's best film, but it's a very good film. And I think Black Panther, that's an outstanding film. Green Book, like Alex said, it's a good little film. I give it a B.
Okay, so we got a B there. It looks like we got all B's. So we'll just put that as a B. Now, where? Because there's a lot of them that are already in the B range here. So let me look at the rest of the grades here.
I think it's behind 12 Years a Slave.
12 years.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Although the grades don't reflect that, though.
No?
No. So it'll have to be ahead of it.
Okay.
Then we have Argo. Argo has better grades. Yeah, so it'll have to be ahead of 12 Years a Slave. Let's see. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, the next one here. So we have four left. Parasite. I believe it's the only. I'm trying to remember. It might be either the first. Well, it's definitely the first, but I think it's the only foreign language film that's won Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken. So that's Parasite. It is, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Parasite.
I think it is.
So dropping that in the middle. And let's look who got nominated that year for 2019. So let's see here. All right, let's go there. Best Picture 2019. We have. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Let's see. We have Ford v Ferrari, which I did not like. We have The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, which I was dying of boredom when I saw it. Marriage Story, 1917. I liked 1917. And I made my thoughts on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in the Tarantino tier list. But let's go to Adam.
You know what? This is, out of all the Best Picture winners, this is the one I have not seen.
Oh, okay.
maybe it's because I didn't want to, for whatever reason, when it's been on, just I haven't wanted to sit through subtitles. We just haven't seen it yet. I know the director is coming out with Mickey 17. I just saw a preview of that over the weekend when I saw Cap.
I really want to see that.
I would say, having not seen that, I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood should have won, because I think that's Tarantino's, after Pulp Fiction, I think that's his second best film.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't agree with that, but okay.
I'm also a fan. I thought Jojo Rabbit was a very good film.
Yeah.
I thought 1917 was a very good.
Mhm.
I liked all 30 hours of The Irishman.
Right.
The Irishman, the miniseries.
And
Right.
The Joker is the best, most depressing film I've ever seen and never want to see again. But and I did like Ford versus Ferrari. So Marriage Story was well made but depressing. So
that movie broke my heart.
Little Women, my wife loved it. I got no interest in seeing that shit. So
I tried watching. I tried watching. I stopped. I was like, no, this is not for me. I did not like that movie. And there's a Greta Gerwig?
Greta Gerwig did Barbie,
right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that didn't do it for me. I liked Parasite. I don't know if it was Best Picture, but I'll give it a B. I thought it was interesting. It's like I said, I didn't necessarily think Best Picture when I saw it, but I was entertained by it. It was solid. But Alex,
for me, Parasite, it's an S.
Oh, okay.
Like, there are very few movies that got nominated throughout those 5-6 years that I actually thought that were really impressive. Like, this one is like a movie festival type of movie that actually is Oscar material. Like, it reflects so much of the Korean culture. Like, I don't know, I just, Bong Joon-ho for me is one of the best directors working right now. Like, Mickey 17 is probably gonna be amazing. Like, he's such a creative guy, and this movie just, I don't know, it did so much for me, and I wasn't expecting it to be that good because, the story, when you watch the trailer or just read the synopsis, it doesn't sound that interesting. But the way he shot the film, the way he presents the whole story, and the way things just start folding out, and it's not like I don't even know how to explain it, but for me, it was a very different movie for that period of time where Hollywood was being kind of dull, and they were they actually, sorry, my words, I don't even know how to put it anymore. I just love it, and I think everyone should watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
you need to watch it. It's a pretty good movie. It's a really good movie.
I will check it out.
It was good. A good solid movie for sure. And I am excited for Mickey 17. Actually, after seeing the trailer.
I love that director, man.
Well, that's what maybe seeing the trailer for Mickey 17 made me think, yeah, maybe we should check this out.
Yeah. If you want to watch some of his other films, most of them are pretty solid. Like Okja, I think it's on Netflix. That one is pretty good. What else might be on Netflix? I don't know.
I didn't watch that one actually.
Snowpiercer is pretty good.
I haven't seen that either, actually.
That was really, really good.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I think I've only seen Parasite actually. So unless there's some other ones that I don't know about that he directed, but
he's really good, really, really good.
He didn't do The Host, did he?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I don't know.
Acres of Movie says fun program. Yeah, so thanks so much there. And then it says I missed the artist parts. Did you?
He did the host. Yeah.
He did do it. Okay.
Yeah.
That one was solid. I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
See the artist. Yeah, I think we talked about the artist at the beginning. I don't think it did well, right? Yeah, it's at the D tier. So yeah, it didn't get that much love. So sorry about that. But Jose says Snowpiercer is great. Okay, so then yeah, definitely got to see that then. Let's see. So that was Parasite. Okay, so let's see. What grade should we give that? Fielderburn says C. So Let's move Parasite to. I can probably keep it where it is. Should it be ahead? A Beautiful Mind, and behind.
Oh yeah.
12 Years a Slave. Let me look at the grades.
Well, I think it's better than. a lot of
Yes.
those movies. But yeah.
12 Years a Slave.
I'm not the one to decide.
Yes, it'll go ahead of 12 Years a Slave as well. How about Greenbug? Greenbug.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll go ahead of that too. Argo.
For me, it would.
Argo, probably not. No, it won't. All right, so there we're at. Parasite. All right, next one. Let's see. Acres for Movie says best 3 movies this century to have not been nominated for Best Picture.
Dark Knight.
Well, Dark Knight. Yeah, we talked like 20 minutes on that one alone. I know that's probably like the main one. I would have to think about it more to look at, movies throughout the whole 21st century. But The Dark Knight's a given. Definitely should have been nominated. 3 left, guys. 3 left. Here we go. Coda. 2021. I'm sorry, 2020. Sorry, 2020. Wait, no, that's not right. You know what? I missed. I didn't put Nomadland. Yeah, that
You
should have
didn't
been
watch that one.
Yeah, so Nomadland. Yeah, I don't have an image. I forgot to include it in there. Damn. Okay. All right. So I put Nomadland. I didn't really like it. That was kind of boring. I mean, I understand. Like, I like seeing different, lifestyles. I guess things that we may not be what do you call it? Exposed to, I guess. So that's interesting to see things like that, stories about that, about different groups and things like that. But I didn't really find it that interesting overall. So I will probably give it like a, I don't know, C-, D+, around there. And you say you didn't see it, right, Alex?
No.
Did you watch it, Adam? Nomadland?
Yeah, I really like Nomadland.
Oh, you did?
I thought it was, first of all, I thought it was a beautifully shot film.
Okay.
When I heard that Chloe Zhao was going to do Eternals, I was psyched. Eternals was beautifully shot. I don't know if it was a beautiful film, but there was a lot of issues with that movie. But to Nomadland, I do think it was a different slice of life that you don't normally see in film, and for that I really liked it. I would give that a in the other movies that year it was up against The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari. I loved Minari.
Oh, that movie is beautiful.
Promising Young Woman, The Trial of the Chicago 7, and Sound of Metal. I really liked Sound of Metal with Riz Ahmed as well.
Oh yeah.
If I would have given Best Picture to Minari. I thought that was a beautiful film.
Yeah.
That would have been my choice. Nomadland, I would give. I think it was a solid B. Not a B movie, but I would give it a solid B.
Okay. Solid B there from Adam. Jim Collector saying I have to duck out. Enjoyed the stream. Have a great rest of the show, guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Jim Collector, is joining us as long as you did. Much appreciated there. Enjoy the rest of your night there. Okay, so again, that was Nomadland, and we got a B and then a C- for me. Okay, and Jose says I really like Coda, even if people think it didn't deserve to win. I like Coda, but we'll get into that in a bit. But okay, so it's probably going to be kind of low though for Nomadland. Oh, I don't have the image. Never mind. I forgot I didn't put it in there. So we'll probably put that like as because we don't have that many grades either. So I'll probably have to put it like at a C. Like a C, around there. Nomadland. All right, we have 3 left here. Valkyrie Magnus says, sorry, I have to head out too. My wife has chores for me to do. All right, thank you so much, Valkyrie, for joining us. And then we'll see you tomorrow night on Figures Talk. So he'll be joining us in the panel. Thank you so much, Valkyrie. Okay, so we have 3 left. Coda, dropping that in the middle, right? So that was in 2021. And let's look at the nominees for that year. Okay, so that one came out of nowhere, this movie, actually. Let's see here. Okay, Best Picture, 2022. Or I'm sorry, 2021. And we have Belfast. That's the Kenneth Branagh film, right?
Yeah,
Don't
I love
Look
that
Up.
movie.
Then we have Don't Look Up. Drive My Car, which I hated, by the way. I didn't finish watching it. Dune, King Richard. Licorice Pizza. Nightmare Alley, another Guillermo del Toro. The Power of the Dog. West Side Story. Yeah, Steven Spielberg. There you go. Musical. Yeah, some pretty good movies in this list, actually. Yeah, I like Coda, but I would have given it to Dune. I'm a big Dune fan, so I actually did like Nightmare Alley too, Guillermo del Toro. I didn't think I would, but I actually did like that. West Side Story, one of the few musicals that I actually did like. I thought Licorice Pizza was okay. I didn't love it. And like I mentioned, I absolutely hated Drive My Car, but I would give Coda a B. I'll give it a B. Solid movie, not really something that I want a Best Picture for this. Alex, have you seen Coda?
I didn't watch it.
Okay, you didn't watch it. Did you watch it, Adam?
Yeah, I did. So just going over a couple of the films that year. Licorice Pizza, I thought was a decent film. Not one of Paul Anderson's best. It wasn't as good as Boogie Nights or
Definitely not.
what's the one with Tom Cruise?
Magnolia.
Magnolia. Yeah, it wasn't as good as that. I loved Belfast. I really liked that film. Don't Look Up was all right. Nightmare Alley was good. Coda, that really took me by surprise. We watched it on Apple, and at the end of that film, I was bawling like a baby. I really liked Coda. I thought very emotional film. To me, I would give that. I'd give that a B.
Okay, same as me. All right, gonna be there. Okay, so that was Coda. All right. Let's see. Acres Movie says the 3 I would choose so far: The Lives of Others, which I actually did not see. Isn't that the one that beat Pan's Labyrinth for Best International or Best Foreign Language Film that year? I didn't watch that, but Mulholland Drive, that's the David Lynch movie, right? I did watch that. City of God. I always meant to watch City of God, but I still haven't seen it.
That's a pretty intense movie.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch that for years. I need to try to watch it. Well, there's some others that I feel should have been Best Picture nominated. So thank you so much there. Acres of Movies. All right, so we have Coda, B, and then a B. So let's go ahead and move this. So it's already in the B list, but we don't have that many votes for this. So should it be ahead of $1 Million Baby or behind it?
I would have it ahead.
Okay. So put that there. So that's in the C tier list there. All right, let's move on to, there's 2 left, guys. 2 left. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Dropping that in the middle. B. Well, I just dropped it in the B tier list. Okay, so let me put that everywhere. All right, so what were the nominees that year? So that would have been 2022. All right, so let's see what we got there. Okay, best picture that year, All Quiet on the Western Fronts, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, The Fablemans, which I loved, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, Women Talking. Okay, so I'm gonna give Everything Everywhere All at Once a C plus. I think this movie was overrated. I did not think Best Picture because this movie came out early in the year. I think this movie came out like in April of that year. I watched it. You know, it was okay, and then I didn't think about it for the rest of the year until it started getting all this Oscar buzz, and then ultimately it did win Best Picture. I thought the story was kind of all over the place. It kind of seemed like they were trying too hard to be like weird, and I don't know. I didn't care for it. I didn't like it to that level. I mean, there was again good performances, some of them not Oscar worthy, but yeah, not Best Picture. Didn't even cross my mind. But have you seen this, Adam?
I have. This is one of these films where, you know, we joked in one of the other streams about that you might rent a film for $20 or something as opposed to buying it for $25. And I did buy this on streaming. So this is a film I enjoyed it. I think to me what I was happy most about was the Oscars is what they sometimes do. They reward actors for the body of their work. And it was great seeing Michelle Yeoh win, and Ki Hu Kwan. I think to me that was the biggest, the most exciting thing is to see him win. For, you know, this is an actor. Obviously, he started out as Short Round, and then in Indiana Jones, and then in The Goonies, and he left acting for a while, I guess, and so that his comeback was awesome. And then to see. Didn't Jamie Lee Curtis, did she win for Best Supporting Actress for this film? Yeah, I mean, she won for the body of her work, right? You know, right. going back for decades to horror as the original Scream Queen. So that was awesome to see her win. I kind of agree with you, Gio. I think I hold this a little bit higher grade than you do, but I you know, it was kind of all over the place. Now, again, we look at that year and what made the most impact on me. I liked Avatar: Way of the Water, but that's like the first film to me. I went in there and then it's like forgettable. Like, it's a 3-hour film that's like forgettable 5 minutes later to me. Those films don't have staying power. Elvis, I enjoyed. Another Baz Luhrmann. I enjoyed that. I really liked Elvis. Now the Fablemans I loved that movie. I think what should have won should have been either the Fablemans or the film that I enjoyed the most that year, and as a cinema going experience, the top two films I've enjoyed in the last few decades would be that I've rewatched over and over again: Avengers Endgame, and as a cinema going experience, Top Gun Maverick. I love Top Gun Maverick because to me that's a great example of how to do a sequel, do a kind of soft reboot, and not piss on the past. You know, honor the past, but try to do something different. I really love Top Gun Maverick. And I think that, you know, if you didn't have Top Gun Maverick and Tom Cruise, they wanted to get him to put it on Paramount Plus and put it on streaming during the pandemic. Yeah. He held fast, and you know, the theater owners should be kissing his feet day in and day out, because he did a lot to help save their asses after pandemic. You know, I would have given it to. So I would have given this to Top Gun or to the Fablemans. I give this one a B.
Okay, so that's a B there. I think the filmmakers who made this are working on Death of a Unicorn, I think it's called.
They just directed an episode of
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. I didn't know that. Okay.
Same with Lee Isaac Chung, who did Minari, I believe.
Oh.
He also did an episode for The Acolyte.
Oh, okay.
We won't talk about that.
Um.
Take it off his resume.
All right. So, let's see. Wait, did you say S tier, Alex?
No.
Or-
No.
Oh, I wrote this wrong. Did you?
No, I didn't say anything about it.
Oh, okay. There
He
you go.
didn't grade it yet.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I put it in the wrong column. Go ahead, Alex. You're like,
This
"No."
movie made me feel old. Because like it was like I couldn't understand what was happening. Everything was so fast. I felt like I was watching like a TikTok or something. It was
Yes.
so quick.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah, like and I talked with younger people and they loved it. It was like it was a life-changing experience for them, but I couldn't understand why. And I still feel the same way. And I think like for me, like it didn't do much. Like, it's a very well-made film and blah 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 blah. But I think it's overrated, honestly. I think it's just I don't know. Like I couldn't get into it. I know that younger people love it, but I just can't. I can't even understand what they love about it. It's
Well-
too much for me. It's
my
not
sis-
bad. It's not bad at all. It's not for
Yeah.
me.
My sister giving an S tier.
Wow.
So there you go. Alice.
Wow.
To your point.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. So
I felt like I was gonna have a seizure with that movie, man. Like it was just
Wait, what was
it
your
was
grade for
like
it?
the Scott Pilgrim of 2022. Like it was just yeah.
I like Scott Pilgrim though, but what
Me
was your grade
too,
for that?
but we're millennials, so
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why.
this is more for Gen Z. And
Oh, you know what? The S that I put under your column was actually Alice's S.
oh,
That's so. What was yours?
I would give it a C.
A C. Okay.
Yeah,
And Alex, to your point, I'm a Gen Xer, so
you're Gen X.
I really
Oh.
I responded to Top Gun Maverick. I'm like, yes,
I mean,
that's
Top Gun Maverick was amazing.
that's my generation. Yeah.
Yeah, like if that really needed to win best picture for me, but it's not an Academy. It's not a choice that the Academy would ever make. Like give it to a. It's like there's no way.
Let's see. Acres of Movie says, should the Daniels direct a Monopoly movie? I'm not sure that they should make a Monopoly movie, but
Oh,
I don't know how that would work. I mean, they made a Barbie movie, but I mean, it's like I don't know. I just don't think of a Monopoly movie working, but I don't know.
Well, they're making a Minecraft movie.
Oh, that's
which
right.
Looks amazing. Yeah.
And maybe cast Giamatti or Colin Farrell as Monopoly Man in the hats. I'm not sure about all that actually. So,
Well, Giamatti.
all right, let's see. Oh, actually, where are we going to put this at? Okay, so we have a B, C plus, S, and a C. Okay, so let's move this to B minus. We can keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, we can keep it at the where it's at. Where it's at. All right, so that'll be there. There you go. Okay, and then the last one is the most recent Best Picture winner, and then of course Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, stopping in the middle, right? Okay, so I would say it's an A. I don't think it should be ahead of Departed or Country for Old Men, personally. A great film for sure. Christopher Nolan. He finally got his Best Director, Best Picture film Oscar. The only thing is maybe like the third act. I think it kind of like dragged a little too much. I don't think it needed to be that long, but overall, I thought it was a great film. Not the greatest Christopher Nolan movie, but this would be the movie that he would get an Oscar for, I would think. But that's Oppenheimer, so I'll say A. How about you, Alex?
I would give it an A too. It's not better than The Reporter or Country for Old Men. It was a little too long, like you said, but it's a very solid movie. It's very solid. What else was nominated that year? Barbie.
Barbie was one of them. Actually, let me go back to that. I always forget that. Barbie was one of the Best Picture nominees, and let's see. Hold on a sec. American Fiction, which I liked. I don't know if it was Best Picture, but Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, which I really liked actually with Scorsese. Maestro,
another very long movie.
It was actually, yeah, but actually for some reason that one didn't feel long, and Oppenheimer did.
Yeah, I agree. Like I actually felt that it went smoother than Oppenheimer.
Yeah, Maestro, which I hated because I got bored. I didn't finish watching it. Past Lives, I liked. Poor Things, I liked, and The Zone of Interest. Those were the Best Picture.
Past Lives and Zone of Interest blew my mind. But I think, Oppenheimer it's an achievement. And it was like a career Oscar too for Nolan.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those for sure. You said an A, right, Alex?
Yeah.
And then Adam.
So last year I thought was a very good year for film and a very good year for nominees. I think I really enjoyed The Holdovers. That's a film that in some other years where you had weaker, like the years where Nomadland or maybe
2011
Moonlight or some of these other Spotlight. Yeah, The Artist. I think The Holdovers could have won Best Picture. Anatomy of a Fall, excellent. Did you guys watch that movie?
Yes,
loved it.
I thought that was an excellent film.
It was well written.
Killers of the Flower Moon. To me, again, a little bit long, but excellent Scorsese film. Zone of Interest, chilling. Past Lives, I liked. Barbie, I thought, I thought, honestly, I thought it was overrated. I thought, I liked Barbie when I saw it the first time. It was called the Lego Movie. And I love the Lego Movie. But it was basically a Lego movie with dolls come to life and talking about the patriarchy 30 times. Now, my daughter liked it more than I did, so that's fine. And I do think I think Ryan Gosling was very good, and Margot Robbie was good. Oppenheimer, I loved. It's not Nolan's best film, but he certainly deserved and I think it should have won Best Picture based on those nominees. I would, I agree with you guys. I give this an A. I don't think it's a better film than The Departed or No Country for Old Men, but I think it's up there as an A. I think just as you have it right now, is perfect.
Okay. So there you go. So looks like we're set in the ranking right there. So let's see. Okay, so let me just go this real quick. It's a summary. Only 2 S tiers for the whole 21st century so far, anyways.
I wouldn't put Gladiator up there.
Oh, you wouldn't have?
No, like the only S tier for me is Return of the King.
I mean, and to me, you went on that point. I would have seen Departed on the S tier, but I guess I'm the only one.
You know what? Like for me, I think it would be there too, instead of Gladiator. I think like Gladiator can be iconic and whatever, but as a movie, The Departed is far better.
Okay.
What was the Japanese movie that it was inspired?
Infernal Affairs.
Okay.
Peter Burns says Barbie was the best. He says so. There you go.
Barbie.
Okay, no F. So I guess that's good, right? No F. D tier list. The very bottom is the artist Crash, the King's Speech.
Next year, Emilia Perez will be in the F.
For best picture, is there?
We'll be there. We'll be there.
You're thinking it'll be best picture? Okay.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Next week, guys. Next week, I'm gonna do my final predictions, and then if you guys want to be on, of course, you can do your predictions as well there. So going back here, so we have a C tier list: Chicago, Moonlight, Birdman, Spotlight, Hurt Locker, $1 Million Baby, and Coda. B tier list: Everything Everywhere All at Once, A Beautiful Mind, 12 Years a Slave, Green Book, Parasites, Argo, Slumdog Millionaire, The Shape of Water. A tier list, only 3 there: Oppenheimer, No Country for Old Men, The Departed. And S tier, we have Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, and Gladiator. Gladiator being, I guess, on the very top, based on all the greats from the live chat or the panel and all that stuff. So yeah, so that was the tier list, guys. 21st century best picture winners. All right, so let me just do this real quick here. Acres of Movies says, regarding movies that should have been nominated for best picture, I pick Flags of Our Fathers. I have Chicago S tier as the best picture Oscar winner this century thus far this century. I don't know. All right, so let's see. Let me just do this real quick. I saw this with you guys here. Let's see here. Where is it? Hold on a sec, guys. All right, let's do this. I only have 2 of these, so you guys can see it, right?
Yes.
The movies. Okay, these are 3 best picture winners, right? So we got The Departed, Schindler's List, Oppenheimer. So which one of these would you want to keep as a best picture winner, but the other 2 would lose their best picture winner? If it was up to you, somehow you can change things like that.
Pick one as best picture over the other 2.
Right, exactly. So which one would you do, Adam, of these 3?
Schindler's List, Spielberg, the GOAT.
All right. Schindler's List.
And even as a film, compared to these other 2, it's The Departed is a film I could watch over and over again. Oppenheimer, I've seen Oppenheimer 2 or 3 times. I've seen it twice. It's Schindler's List, I've seen twice. It's a difficult film. It's not like, yeah, let's go watch, let's rewatch Schindler's List again.
Right.
Unless you're a psychotic.
Right.
But I think you got to go with Schindler's List. It's a powerful film.
Okay. Acres of Movies says keep The Departed. So that's what Acres of Movies is selecting here. How about you, Alex?
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List, right? There you go, Schindler's List. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
The next one is 3 Best Picture nominees that did not win. So which one of these 3 would you give the Oscar for that year? You can only pick one. So let's start with Alex this time. So we have Goodfellas, the original Star Wars, Saving Private Ryan.
Today I'm in the mood for Star Wars.
Okay. For Star Wars, okay. Star Wars, there you go. Adam.
Love all 3, but it's got to be Star Wars.
Okay, there you go. Easy enough. Yeah, I would have to pick Star Wars as well. So, not hard, right?
Yeah.
I felt like we wouldn't take that long for these. I agree with Adam, says Feel the Burn. Saving Private Ryan says Acres of Movies, yeah. That's what they're saying there. I like Dances with Wolves way better than Goodfellas.
I love Dances with Wolves. That's a year, I think I was saying early in the broadcast, that you had 2 incredible films, Goodfellas and Dances with Wolves. Which is the better film? I think they both stood the test of time as classics.
Yeah.
Very different films, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen Dances with Wolves in a long time, though. so I can't test that out myself.
I watched it a couple years ago, and it does hold up. It's a really good movie.
Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, so that's it. That's all I had here, guys. Hold on a sec. I'm trying to move something here real quick. Okay, so that's it, guys. So that was the stream. You know, we did the tier lists and stuff like that for the best picture. Now, next week, like I mentioned, February 22nd, I'm going to do my final predictions for the Oscars, which are on March 2nd. So I'm doing the final predictions next week. And then the ones who are channel members who want to put in to possibly win, you have till February 21st, 11:59 p.m., the channel members. And then whoever predicts the most wins correctly will win a $25 gift card to Sideshow or Amazon. So let's see here. So let's go to Mr. 1 Adam 12. What do you have going on, Mr. Adam?
You can see me and Emily's outside the theater reaction to Captain America: Brave New World. We saw that Thursday night, so check that out. See what we think. She rates it higher than I do, but that's fine.
Yeah, some of the things that you were saying, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. So
I'll watch it on Monday.
Oh, you're watching that on Monday?
Yeah.
The movie? Okay.
I think it's worth seeing. You know, if you're a Marvel fan, it's better than the Marvels.
Okay.
And Quantumania.
Okay.
It's better than Quantumania. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I hated Quantumania.
Yeah, we're gonna do an non-spoiler review of Captain America: Brave New World tomorrow on Figures Talk.
But did you guys like it? I've been trying to avoid.
Overall,
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not top tier, but yeah.
I think the first half is slow. I think the second half is much better. I think you can tell. You as someone who's just knowledgeable about film, you're going to be able to tell, like, this is kind of a Frankenstein's monster of a film that was put together in
Oh, yeah.
like, put together in the editing booth, but this was really put together in the editing booth, and you could tell that there was reshoots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm very this is a film I'm very curious in the future, like what was previously shot, what was cut out of this. That I'd really be interested to see.
Yeah, there was some things that Jose was sending me about, like some of the stuff that they had. Like the main villain, one of the villains, he looked different and
leader.
Like yeah. So yeah. And then Mr. Alex, what do you have going on?
Not much. Like, I have my channel a bit abandoned right now. I'm very busy with work. I'll be posting a video of the Brutalist maybe next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you ultimately like it, or how was it? Just quickly.
It's a very complex movie. I love the first half. I think the movie was going great, and after the intermission, like, I felt that things just dropped.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't like engaged anymore, and I don't know, like, the more I think about the movie, the more it lands with me. I think that it's a very powerful film, but I still think the second half was a bit much, and yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's one of the strongest contenders, but I still like Enora and the Substance more. I think they have a clearer message than this one. This one, I feel like, I forgot the name. Brady Colbert that's the name of the director. I think he's a very artsy guy, and sometimes I think he lets his mind just flow and doesn't really think about, like, containing his story in a point where it's still engaging. So, yeah,
okay.
But I liked it. I think it was pretty interesting. No, I talked too much.
Yeah. But Mr. Alex, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for.
I'm glad you were able to join us here after all.
Yeah, I was excited that you were able to join us.
Yeah, I'm glad I made it. Yeah, I was busy, but I was doing a render. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk with my friends. It's been a while.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Alex, for joining us. And then again,
to
hopefully
see you.
we'll have you on next week.
Yes, I'll be next week for sure.
Predictions.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. Thank you so much, there, Mr. Alex Montano. So that's it, guys. Tomorrow doing Figures Talk, right? 6 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be doing that. It's kind of light with the news and stuff like that, but there's plenty of stuff to really still talk about and whatnot. But we'll be doing that tomorrow, 6 p.m. Adam will be there. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for everyone who watched. If you watched live from the beginning, thank you so very much. And then, of course, if you're watching the replay, much appreciated as well. So that's it for today's stream, guys. Thank you so very much, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Hope to see you tomorrow night on Figures Talk. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.